This is the Arcane Dice Podcast.
Favors owed. A debt called in. Does fate beckon when obligation calls? Tamora herself smiles when luck and kismet conspire to draw new adventurers to her fold. The Arcane Dice Podcast welcomes you to join them for The Lost Mine of Phandelver.
Anyways, all right, so we're back here. This is, I guess, we're moving into the official episode 1 now.
Hey, can we give a shout out to Kat if she's listening?
Hey, Kat in Japan, shout out if you're
Hi.
listening.
Yay!
Why does our other fan never get any love anymore? What the fuck? Like, well, Jacob Christman
Because
just
they
doesn't
don't
Jacob.
interact with me.
some love.
He didn't send
Love
you
you,
candy.
Jacob.
Well, he would if you were on the Facebook page to fucking manage it, because he's one of the few guys that actually talks on there. I think Dave started ignoring him though, so.
No, I don't notice. I don't go on there, right? I'll be honest. The Facebook is the devil.
The Facebook.
The face,
Is the fair?
the face
The
devils.
Fox News taught me not to trust the Facebook.
I can't do our
Is
TikTok.
that just
and
a
our
blanket,
Facebook.
or are
It'll
you
make
like
me
actually wearing a
stressed out.
cloak now, Kat?
Yeah, I have a cloak. With a hood.
Are we doing clothes?
Oh, see, she's all fucking prepped up. This is. Oh, I don't have my other bathrobe that's got the
You're,
hood, so I
you're
can't.
in
put mine up.
wizard robe. You're good.
Mine doesn't.
Well, where's-
mine doesn't
there we
look
go.
nearly as.
I was gonna say,
There we go.
fucking-
We're like on the road. Oh, nice.
How does that
Thing
work with
weighs
your
a fucking
microphones?
lot. It hurts. It's made out of like LARP, like HEMA steel.
Jesus.
That'll leave a mark, yeah. With no padding in that thing, it's not going to do you any good. It's just going to dent your head a different way.
It's got
Right.
padding.
Then they did a shit job.
Oh, really shit job. It's not. I would not use it for HEMA.
Look for something called Skydex pads.
You're a
Fantastic.
Is
Skydex
it
guy.
Kydex with an S in front of it?
Sky.
Yeah.
Sky.
SK. Yeah, Skydex.
I
So
might
they're-
have to.
They're
They make
pads
me
that
wear the helmet a lot.
that I've put into like some of my helmets because they are better at absorbing force impact from things like blasts. So, but they're very soft and cuddly until something goes off near you, and then they absorb that impact really well. Anyways, so back to it. The last we were talking there, Kat's character Aster was leading Morley's character Aiden and Vince's character Ricky south towards Neverwinter. Do you guys want to talk amongst yourselves for a little while here and get to know each other? Or should I just fucking fast forward us to Neverwinter?
I'm gonna talk because Matt's trapping with folding laundry.
You're not there.
Thirst
You're
trapping.
talking about the
Yeah.
characters.
You're looking like a snack.
Looking like a snack.
Look how he
I learned
uses
how to
his
fold
nose.
Laundry.
Real man
I
uses
feel-
every part.
I feel a
Um,
little guilty that our other characters haven't been introduced yet, so I'm
They're
okay
coming,
if we fast
just-
forward.
They're coming.
I do think Ricky would very certainly find out the name of Morley's horse.
Oh,
By by talking to it, like directly to it.
Well,
or
he'd
by, like,
probably be asking the horse its name, but maybe then asking you its name if he didn't hear a response in a language he understood. And maybe he'd guess, like, are you Lord Jimothy? Alex Anthony? Cleo Patricia?
I'm gonna let you go on for a little bit, and then I'm gonna start throwing out names as well. I'm just participating with you, and I was like, how,
Mosif?
Smithley, Jonathan,
Jackery?
uh,
Jonathan? Bertrude?
Was that Jonathan? I thought that was Jordathan. That sounded like a Jordathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan too.
Come on.
Kendallin.
Sure.
Gregory.
Sir George Pickleton, McGillicuddy the 14th.
Oh, I saw the ear flick. What was that one?
McGillicuddy?
McGillicuddy.
He looks like a gilly, doesn't he?
That's good, Gilly.
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 Now I'm writing on your notes here.
I'm writing Gilly
Aiden,
now.
half elf, rides Gilly.
That's it. This is how we should name everything.
They're probably going to die. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's all you're going to talk about horse names?
I figured that would go quicker, right?
Yeah.
I just figured I should have it on paper somewhere.
Aster's gonna say it's very important to find out your mount's true name. Gundren had Lord Chandral all wrong. That's all I'm gonna say.
So his full name is Charles Pickleton McGillicuddy the 14th. Or Gilly.
No Lord or Duke or...
I thought you said 17th.
Sure, the 17th.
It's going to change every time.
We'll just make it up.
When you finally find your horse's name, I'm going to reach down in my bag and toss you an apple to give to your horse.
Gilly.
The horse doesn't even let it go past and catches it before it gets to Aiden.
Oh. Then I just wink at the horse.
Good work, Gilly.
The horse is too busy enjoying the apple to notice.
And I'll give him a pat on the neck, and I'll be like, I'll keep you well fed. You keep me upright. We'll do well by each other.
The horse is going to nicker and carry on following the large pig in front of it. Since, you guys don't want to have a conversation about between yourselves.
I mean, we learn a lot from each other from these things.
From the horses, yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm also going to be like reaching into the bag of like the sandwiches and everything that Agatha gave me and just like steadily handing them over to Ricky.
Oh yeah, he is eating very still, like a lot.
Nice.
Like I forgot to mention, he is wearing like armor in addition to his weird homeless child rags. But he also doesn't fit it well and looks like he has not eaten properly, maybe ever.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Noted.
Okay. Aster will also sneak you some food.
Well,
I'll just feed you raw like the ants.
All right.
Definitely be thrilled to eat.
As evening closes in, it's just getting dark. Obviously, like I said, this is the start of summer, so you're getting in towards the later PM hours here. As the sun's going down, you slowly ride into the outskirts of Neverwinter, the town itself. However, Aster leads you not directly into town, but out and around the outer edge towards, there's a merchant's inn that she leads you to. She's obviously familiar with the area, so she leads you to the inn. When you get to the inn, first place she takes you is back to the stables, where there are already spots assigned for the animals. Obviously, Lord Chandral has his own larger space because, well, he doesn't appreciate when there's other animals crowding him. He likes to do a little bit of burrowing and things like that, and he can't do that with the horses and the thing. So, but after you guys have got your horses settled in, you start moving towards the inn itself. It's a well-designed structure. It's got a large stable around the one outside edge along the back. The entrances, the main entrance that you guys are going to be utilizing is around on the front towards the main trail that leads past it. And again, this is mostly a merchant caravan, so there's large paddocks for people to bring their full wagons in, park them, and then close them and lock them into place so that they can go and do their business in Neverwinter without the trailer, and then bring that in afterwards in order to deliver goods that were already sold, kind of thing. As you move towards it, is 2 levels. Bottom level, it's all designed out of wood. There's no stone in this one. It's a newer place after the experiences that Neverwinter had after the blast of the mountain. Lots of the stuff here is built out of wood instead of stone because it's simply faster and easier to put back up, kind of thing. And that's what this place was done. heading towards it, you guys can hear from inside. As you're approaching, there's music going, and there's people singing. It's obviously a jovial place. Sounds like it's going pretty loud. But as you guys enter to a very, very crowded, this place is basically packed. It's shoulder to shoulder for most of the part. You can see there is a dwarf upstanding on a bar, and it looks like he may have been dancing. He's got 2 mugs, one in each hand. But there is beer foam flecked across him, his beard, he's obviously been celebrating. However, there is somebody below him who is talking to him, and I'll get each of you guys to give me a perception check.
Ah.
That's right, Vince. I need you too.
15.
12.
12. Morley?
I'm doing math. 10.
10. Okay, so Aster, you know that's Gundren up on the bar, and this is a usual thing for him. He's quite a robust fella who quite enjoys once he gets to the pub, it's time to party. Morley just sees a dwarf up on the thing. Vince, Rickton sees that the person on the ground that Gundren is talking to is a fella, looks like a scruffy ne'er-do-well, shall we say, wearing a red cloak that Gundren is talking to. And you can tell in the manner that this fella is not appreciating whatever it is that Gundren's saying to him. And as you watch, Gundren, while still in what appears to be a jovial, spirited kind of happiness, up and kicks this guy square in the face.
Do any teeth come flying across the ground like chiclets?
There are some teeth that do get ejected from this fellow's mouth, who clutches his face and is whisked away by, there's 2 others wearing red cloaks as well, who grab this guy, and they basically abscond out the back doors of the bar. They sneak away. They scamper off.
You pick up his teeth.
Well, you gotta make your way through the bar to find the teeth first. There.
How red are these cloaks? Would we say they're on the crimson, the bright
cloaks?
red? Are they?
I think you're reaching, David.
They're a dirty, dingy. They were obviously red at one point, but they're not being taken care of. It's not like a professional militia or anything like that. These are just guys who have red cloaks that they don't care about the color. It's aside from whatever meaning it has to them. So it's a dirty, dingy. The cloaks are in not good repair, we'll say.
Aster is going to motion to Vincent and Rick and Aiden, and kind of try to guide them through the crowd towards Gundren. And she's going to try and catch his eye on the way with the eyebrow raised to question, is that something we need to take care of to him?
As soon as Gundren has watched these fellows leave the back of the bar, he immediately looks to there's a small, not a band, but a couple of musicians up on there. He's like, there's no problems here. Kick it back up. And he'll immediately break into a bawdy dwarven tune about, beer kegs and boobies. So he is right back into dancing and partying, and the twinkle's right back in his eye, and he is singing along and dragging a couple of women up onto the bar to dance with him, kind of thing, and having a jovial time. But he does give you a typical motion with his head, showing you that he's got a spot kind of at the back of the room.
Okay. I'll leave them there.
Okay. Vince, on the way there, do you want to give me a perception check to see if you can find them teeth?
3.
You cannot find those teeth. They have disappeared under the scrum of the crowd.
He's probably going to spend a good minute trying to figure out until Aster drags him along, is my guess. Does that sound like something Aster would do?
I'll just kind of wait patiently. I don't know you that well, so you're a guest of Gundren. So
you can always ask her. If you ask her, you might get advantage on your next roll.
Do you see any teeth? Where do the teeth go? Where are their teeth?
Oh, you want the teeth? and I look for teeth also.
Well, Vince, you'll get advantage on your roll.
Okay.
Perception check.
11.
11. You can see kind of a blood spatter along like the floor of where like these things have skittered, but you're not quite positive. They look like they may have gone under a bench where there's a couple other patrons kind of sitting, but you can't see them directly. What do you want to do?
Aster, Lady Aster, could you lift this bench for me?
Oh, sure. And I just lifted up.
There's two patrons on it. And,
yeah.
Aster just grabs the side of it and lifts. So these two patrons like slide down the bench against each other, which is kind of cute because it looks like they're on a first date and Aster has just pushed them together. So she's just started romance there, but they slide down because Aster just lifts the one side, and it's very, very easy for her to do. It looks like she's grabbed this thing and easily lifted the side of the bench up. And Vince, give me one more perception check. Let's see if you find these things.
I'll assist Vince.
16. With advantage, that becomes still 16.
Nice.
Still 16. 16's enough. You can see one of them has cracked in half, but there's two others that are intact.
Yes. Like fist pump. Like he's like, actually, this is important to him.
Oh. What is it you do with those?
Oh, they're important.
I mean,
like he's just
obviously
not full of answers. He's not good at answers. They're important. It's like tax, like dues, like work.
Aster just
Do any of your
leads you
teeth
guys to the back, confused.
Any of your teeth hurt?
I mean, dental work is a thing. It's still a thing, even in medieval and fantasy times. People have teeth problems. It's not an unheard of thing. After Aster has lifted this up and dropped the bench back down, not so subtly, slamming it down and making lots of noise, she pushes through the crowd towards a table at the back that she's used to frequenting. She knows where she's going. And at the back, you're going to see at the table is a exasperated, currently jotting down, it appears to be copying notes from one book to another. Well, Chase, give me a good description of your character right now.
A younger adult looking Eladrin, just looking exhausted and a little bit overworked, with dark brown hair, from the glimpses that you can gaze, like pale blue eyes, and with like a pink undertone to their skin. Very slight, very light looking. Not tall. Like just breaking 4 feet tall.
Eladrin is?
It's a type of fae.
Subset of elf. Yeah.
Subset of elf. Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. That's
Hey, elf. They left the Fey Wilds. Sorry. Well, don't mind me.
Yeah. So they're you see this 4 foot tall, brown haired, pink skinned or pink toned skinned, very exasperated and like she said, a little bit frazzled. Furiously copying from one book to another, working there. And Cat Aster had met Keyleth before, just shortly before leaving. Keyleth had just come into Gundren's employ, so as you approach, you recognize her, give her a nod, and move towards the table.
Keyleth, it looks like he's got you working hard.
First of all, Keyleth.
Keyleth, looks like he's got you working hard.
Always.
Can I just point out that this is a 4 foot tall elf doing this to a half orc who's 6 foot tall right now?
Yeah, I'm actually young.
This is Rick and Aiden, and they're here to help Gundren.
Ricky looks kind of vaguely nervous. I mean, he's always vaguely super nervous, but he looks more nervous.
A description than that? Like a job role, a task, you got like a shiny rock, anything.
He's got a candelabra.
Gonna frantically like kind of go through my notes, trying to be like, what the fuck do you have an appointment? What?
I'm gonna just gesture to the bartender to bring over drinks and sit down.
The halfling barkeep who runs the place is actually up on rather than the bar being like a full depth one, she's actually got a ledge behind it. So she actually like walks behind the bar at about a foot down from the top of the bar. So she's very easily able to see you. And she sees you, gives a nod, and just you can see that they're one of the serving girls is going to be bringing over not just individual cups, but like a big jug with empty cups for you to fucking fill because she's used to your orders kind of thing. So, so that's on the way.
Yeah. As soon as the drinks come, Astron's demeanor changes from like business to, all right, now we're going to have fun. We're going to relax. And I just kind of lean back in the chair with my drink and wait for Gundren to show up.
Caliph is going to take the cup, like palm over like the drinking hole like this, and like put it back on the table and be like, why are you here? Why are you here?
Sorry, did you say Caliph or Keyleth?
Matt's going to start fights here, and he's not even here yet. Caliph. And who are you speaking to when you said that there, Chase? Because that wasn't super clear.
Cat's character, who's leaning back to relax and take a drink.
Yeah, Gundren sent me to get these guys, and I don't know, I'm just bringing them here.
Caliph, you're aware that Aster works with Gundren. She's been with Gundren longer than you have. So you're aware of her, but you'd be questioning, obviously, Vince and Morley's characters being, because they're unknown to you. They're new.
There were some letters. I don't know if you wrote those up for Gundren, but he was asking for a bunch of people for some special mission or adventure. That's all I know. I'm just collecting these guys.
Great.
Am I supposed to? Should I just? Do I not belong here? Should I be gone? Am I supposed to be gone?
No. Have a beer or whatever. What do you drink?
Sit down. Here, do what you want. Drink. Don't drink. I don't care. And
He'll just drink whatever is placed in front of him. He definitely listens when he's told to sit down.
I'm gonna look at. I have these names written down.
Aster.
Morley's character.
Aster
Aiden.
Vincent. Or
did Caliph ever live in the Feywild?
Ricky.
I'm gonna look at Ricky and be like, "You sit down. Don't talk to anyone. Don't put your mouth on anything. You look like a turtle toucher." Like
a turtle toucher.
Oh, look at one.
Wow.
It said I could.
No. Don't listen to her. Just have a drink.
He seems very.
Caliph, these are guests of Gundren.
Gundren's going to have finished singing. Somebody else has taken over. And you can see him pushing his way through the crowd. Gundren's a wide-set dwarf. He's he's a thick fella, probably sitting about over 200 years of age. So he's not a young dwarf, but he's kind of in his prime. He's sitting about 40 years old for an adult human. He's got the knowledge. His body's a little bit broken, but he's definitely got the skill sets going.
40 is not prime age for a
is.
human, and you shut your mouth.
I'm in my prime.
Does that mean I'll feel better in 6 years? It won't hurt anymore?
Oh, no, you'll hurt more.
Yeah.
But you're used to it by then.
It gets
point.
worse.
I like these mixed reactions. Does that mean I'll feel better? Raph, I'm in my prime.
I'm in pain, but I'm in my prime.
Yeah, right.
So as Gundren he's shuffling his way through, he's basically like a little force. Like he's a muscular broad, but he's short. Like he's around 4 foot as well. But he's shouldering his way through the crowd kind of thing, and everybody's like patting him on the back and cheering because he's obviously been here for a little while, kind of drinking it up and partying. And Caliph has been stuck sitting in the back, running some books for him, while he's been basically just drinking and cavorting and partying up on the bar there. So he moves his way through and gets to the table. Hey, Starry, you're back. You found the two.
Found these guys. Kayla's wondering what she should do with them, on paper at least.
Well, they can just add them to the ledger for part of the company.
I don't
You
want to
can't
do paper.
just. What do you think I do?
Do you turn
You
people
work
into
for me,
paper?
that's what you do. So you gotta write their names down and keep it happy.
Kayla's just gonna put her head down and like very, very, you can clearly like begrudgingly like pushing through the paper to the point that it like tears, writing names and like
Gundren
making
is
notes.
obviously used to this at this point, so he just looks back to Esther. Did you have any trouble with Oinker or what?
For the last time, his name is Lord Chandral. You know this.
He was Oinker before you got him. He'll stay Oinker for now.
He hates that name.
We got to head out in the morning. We were waiting for one more, but he hasn't shown up. But I'll head out in the morning. I'm just waiting for Sildar. He's supposed to show up here. Once he gets here, we'll do some talking and see what's going on. You have any trouble?
No, actually, it was pretty easy going on the way. I mean, aside from his candelabra kept falling out of his pack, that was it.
Pleasure to meet you. I've heard your name quite often, but it's nice to finally see a face.
Well, you've got some features about you. You look like Aggie's boy.
Oh, and Agatha. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes. She's a darling old woman.
Yeah,
Quite close to my heart.
Quite the Spitfire, let me tell you, when her adventuring days were on. She was a good time, I tell you.
Not exactly sure how to take that, but I'll chalk it up as a compliment.
Take it that way as you. That's what it is intended as. And you, Gundren's gonna like climb up on a stool and like lean across the table, looking at Vincent. You're not familiar to me though. Who are you, lad?
He's gonna kind of like lean back a bit, and then lean a little bit in at tooth level, like looking at his mouth, and then look him in the eyes after, like as if that's how you judge a person. Sorry, what was the question?
Gundren's teeth are huge, shiny, white. Like he's got a massive smile. Like there's no hiding it. So he sees you doing this, and he literally just like, "Do you like what you see, lad?"
Those are great. Sorry, I was looking at what was the question? I was looking at your teeth. I'm sorry.
Immediately distracted.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My parents.
Are you the one I got the weird message back about?
What's that?
Gundren's gonna like reach into a pouch and like pull out a weird piece of it's parchment that you will recognize because it's made out of a different plant where you're coming from. And it's obviously been signed by several people. It's written in a language that not a lot of folks know. But is this the return letter for you? And you can see on it when you're reading it, you can see in Sylvan, you can see that her name is written on there. Yeah, but it's not pointing it at you.
Looking over her shoulder.
But you can, yeah. I'll tell you what, make me a perception check to see if you catch it. He says as he's eating.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, I slay the shit out of that. 16 and 7, do math. Boom.
23?
Yeah.
Math.
16 and 7, do math.
I done seen it.
It's a whole lot. It's
All right,
more
so
than 4, so.
You see
I've
this as
seen
well,
it.
and you can see down at the bottom there's a glyph. Give me a history check.
No. I got an 8.
Okay.
And then you're going to check to see what else.
Even with that
adds
8, that glyph kind of gives you a bit of the willies. There's power embedded in that thing that is frightening to you for some reason. You're not quite positive why, but it scares you a little.
I will I will mask that like little shiver of revulsion by like stroking my beard and like playing with my mustache.
So Vince, you have seen this sheet of paper. You can read it. You realize this is definitely you he's talking about.
And the sigil, is it like my house or the maw or?
It's the maw.
Yeah. Okay. I'm quiet, but I point at it for him. Like that's.
All right, that is just a bit of a weird return. I didn't send anything to this, but it came back from. So I guess you're stuck here returning. Are you good to an adventure? You got problems? What can you do?
I can. I mean, you don't need fixing your teeth, but I can fix your teeth. I can violently unfix teeth if needed.
That may be required.
That sounds perfectly.
I have skills. Like I can be useful. I'm good. I don't eat much. I take up a little bit of space.
Apparently, you can ride a horse. That's at least a start, lad.
Caleb is going to point her quill at him and being like, "You don't even know his name?"
It's Ricky. Right?
His name is Ricky.
You didn't know who was showing up?
No.
Aster just slides a drink over to Caleb again.
Yeah, I agree with
you. I mean, it's Rickton. It's Rickton Eldentia, or El Razla, depending on who you ask.
Razla.
But I'm Ricky.
Sounds familiar.
Ricky.
It's a beer.
Beer?
You would know beer. Razla is a beer. My family made beer.
That does sound familiar to me, but I was drunk when I read it. Oh well, starved, no problems.
There's different people in the house, so I don't know what happened to the beer.
There were a lot of visitors to my house.
Dirty.
Like, look at the beer that was pushed towards me, and I'm going to push it towards Gundren.
And he immediately just like slams it back and. All right, hey Sparkles, and he's going to look at Aster. Come over here for a second. I got to show you something.
All right. I don't know what to do. I have my drink with me.
Well, he's got his too, but although his cup's empty, so he grabs the mug before and he pours a full frothing mug for it. And he kind of takes you into a back area that's much quieter. It's kind of set aside with a bunch of the like kegs that haven't been tapped, things like that. It's just kind of a little bit more of a storage space. And he kind of like peeks around you because you're too tall, so he like grabs your hips and like make sure nobody's kind of watching. He says, "We had a little bit of trouble in here earlier. A couple of folk come looking. Sounds like somebody might know something about what we're looking into. So I just got to wait for Sildar. Once he gets here, or Sildar, he gets here. Probably going to take off a little bit earlier than you with the wagon. I'm going to leave you with the wagon to move your way up. I got to go check and see what's going on with me brothers. The clan might be in a little bit of trouble.
Was that the red cloak men?
I don't know what their problem was, but they were asking questions they should know answers to. So just keep your eye out for those. If you see that kind of thing going around, don't be loose lips with them. Aye?
Got it, boss.
All right. I gotta give you something as well here. And he's gonna pull that bag that he had that tied off, and he's gonna untie it from his hip and pass it over. Here. This will hold a lot more than it normally does. It looks like it's just a regular bag, but it'll hold way more stuff. There's some things in there, but wait until you get the Fandelver before you dump it out. And there's a contract in there in case I have to go looking for my brothers. You just give that to, there's a fellow named Gimbal. He'll take care of it and pay these fellas and folks for their time. So just make sure you get that there. But once you get there, go looking for Gimbal. Sildar might be there as well. He's looking to stop in that town while I go looking for Dandrin and Undero. I gotta make sure that they're all right. If those fools are looking for these, could be trouble. All right? We're just waiting for one more, but I don't know where he is. So let's just go back and have a drink and wait and see if he shows.
Right over, boss.
So yeah, Gundren shuffles back over to the table, grabs himself another cup, starts pouring, and then he heads up onto the stage there, and he's singing again in a loud, gravelly voice. It's like almost in tune, like it's so close, but every once in a while it kind of twangs out. Right, so he's got that dwarven gravel going kind of thing, and it just kind of like takes it out. But everybody's singing that this isn't what's that stupid TV show where they sing for trying to get on not Dancing with the Stars. What's the other one?
Masked Singer.
That's it. Sure, one of those.
Voice.
The Voice. There we go. Yeah. So it's he's not trying out for that kind of thing. So he's this is just a good time party singing. So he's up there with there's a couple of bards up there that are and they obviously have met him before, and they continue on well into the night. You guys want to do anything while you're sitting here?
I'm going to encourage everyone to enjoy things while they can, because we've got a long day ahead in the morning.
Morley, you're muted. I can see the lips just going.
Nope. Still
That's some dirty talking.
You shouldn't say that about such people. They're good people.
No, I was unmuted there for a while. I am going to take this time to spend a little bit of getting to know you over a beer with Ricky. I'm going to ask him about like the teeth. I'm going to be like, saw you pick up a couple from the floor. Do you have a collection with you, or?
Yeah, like I need to collect them. Did Ricky clock that Morley was trying to read the Sylvan, or could read Sylvan?
Give me a perception check.
12.
You can see that he looked at the sheet, but you're not sure if he's able to read it or understood it.
Okay. No, I need to collect them for work. It's good to do your part.
I don't mean to be too pointed, but we might be in the same line of work.
You're a dentist?
Oh Lord, no.
I mean, I'm not accredited. I'm looking nervously as if someone was going to come. I'm not accredited. I'm an amateur.
Did Ricky put any of these teeth as he was showing them off on the table?
You want to see them?
Absolutely.
He'd empty all the teeth that he has collected so far.
As he like spills them off onto the table and they kind of roll, and before they settle, Caliph is gonna grab one and put it in her pocket.
Ooh. You're gonna have to roll stealth because he's nervous about these teeth.
Obviously attached to these teeth.
Like him?
He's deeply concerned about him.
I need a sleight of hand from you there, Chase, and I need a perception check from you there. Or actually, give me a perception check there, Vincent.
19. Oh, of course, I rolled good on this.
I rolled
one.
a 19.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably add more than that.
You guys tied?
Well, I have a +3 to sleight of hand.
Yeah, you win.
Oh, so she skips a hand out so fast you don't even clock it. You're not aware you're missing a tooth. But I mean, you're up 2 still. So
yeah. Still on gains. I didn't show my lucky teeth.
I'm gonna start looking through them, and I was like,
these are my lucky
teeth. You're gonna want to note that I'm probably like, where'd it go? But like, not like. You might want to write it down in your inventory.
Oh, I am.
So we've got a klepto.
If it intrinsically has value, it has value to you, and that's all.
And that's exactly why he was vaguely afraid of you. Because he knows that you're vaguely fey.
Oh,
dangerous. But yeah, I'll look over the collection. I'm like, well, obviously those ones are human. Looks like this one looks like an orc, and but you've got a marvelous collection here. How long have you been adding to these?
Like the new ones are from just now. I've been doing the job since I was little. Like whenever I'd come out of the jar, it'd be mostly to learn tooth work.
Child labor dentistry. That's just like an all new level of wow.
Right.
The jar?
Yeah, the jar. House. The house. I'd leave the house.
Nice. It's like, wow.
Kat, Give me an insight check there, Kat.
Yeah, I feel like I need an insight. I'm using the metal dice for this.
A house, or is the jar of teeth that you're hiding in is important to you?
Jar Jar? I don't know the Dark Lord.
14.
14?
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
Vince, give me a deception check.
I mean, I rolled way higher than he's actually good at deceiving. Like I got a 19 on the die, and I mean, honestly, he's a very capable deceiver, but I don't
I've been
think
drinking. It's fine.
I don't think he's equipped for the task. 26.
Aster she's 3 beers deep already. Like she's quickly hammered down, so that the slip of the tongue kind of just rolls off her brain because she's already got enough stuff. She's worried about Gundren, and
he's a weird guy.
Small town
He's just mixing up words.
Right.
English isn't his first language.
Everybody mixed up the jar in the house. It's just a thing that
The door's a jar.
the
You know,
regional
That
lingo.
scroll was written in some sort of weird gobbledygook, so he must speak that.
That's right.
And I just hand you another drink. Here, you need one of these?
Whatever you put in front of him for sustenance, he's consuming.
Vince, with what your character's been, I don't think you would have consumed alcohol before.
I think he'd be.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
His family made
festivals
beer,
happen, but I don't think it would have been like human alcohol. Like, I think he would have consumed a lot of drugs. I don't know that it would have been alcohol. Like Elverquist would be the closest thing to alcohol.
I feel this is a new thing, though, so I'm going to need you to make me a con save. Because this is already the
Can
second.
we also have like a rule that if our characters drink, that we also have to drink? So then I think we need to see more of like 4 beer chase
Friday
during
morning.
this roll.
Shit,
We don't see any chase right now.
it's like before noon for Catherine, though. Come on.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, guys. When we first come on, it's like
somewhere.
10:30 in the morning for
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Cat's
No,
just
I,
hammering fucking
the
the
14.
game for the win.
14? All right, you're
5
okay.
o'clock somewhere.
It's definitely a new sensation for you, this alcohol. So you are, you're feeling it already for sure, but it hasn't impacted you just yet.
He's
You're
probably
feeling-
been intoxicated before because that's funny to some people. but like alcohol might be new to him, and like
I was going to say, I think that might have been more drugged than intoxicated.
dude, this could be two
Poor
things.
fucking kid, man. Holy shit.
So as the evening goes on, Gundren's waiting. Just before midnight, a human, well-built, taller fellow wearing chainmail, has a very, very clean cropped salt and pepper, black beard, black hair, same thing, salt and pepper. Definitely like an older soldier, but very well known, respected. Aster knows who this is. This is Sildar. He comes into the inn and strides through fairly gently. Doesn't push anybody out of the way, but people seem to know who he is, or at least are aware of his presence, because they certainly show him signs of respect and kind of move out of his way and open up a path for him getting to Gundren. Gundren and Sildar kind of slide to the back and start speaking. They're not being quiet about it, but it is a loud inn. So if anybody wants to listen, I need a perception check to hear what they're saying.
I'll listen in with my ears of hearing.
Your ears
Nope.
of hearing.
That's a 1.
The bards are playing one of
21.
your favorite songs up on the stage. 21, so Kat can hear with Aster. Vince, are you?
I didn't roll. Do you want me to?
Do you want to? I don't. It's up to
I
you.
figured he's maybe thinking a lot about the drink and its effect on him.
Okay.
Like being
Uh,
mindful about it, and that's how we survive it, or not being.
I'll point out for you here, Vince, as well, though, that giant jug of beer is in front of your cup, and nobody, like, every time your cup seems to empty, somebody is refilling it for you.
Oh, then I should roll again.
Okay. Give me another roll.
12.
That was okay. Good. Every time I'm making your roll, it's going up slightly. So
Yeah.
So you're still okay.
Yeah.
Aster, you hear Gundren and Sildar, and basically they're just talking back and forth about preparations they've made to head to Phandelver. Gundren, being a little bit drunk already, seems to accidentally mention the fact that these fellows had come into the bar and asked questions, and Sildar becomes immediately concerned. And so you hear him telling Gundren that he wants to leave earlier tonight. He wants to get out of here now so that we can kind of get ahead of them so they don't know that we've left and get to where we need to go so we can check on the brothers. So Gundren's gonna, grouchily agree because he's obviously enjoying his time here. He's like, "Hey, Pax are ready to go. Let me just talk to the Sparkles and we'll get going." And I was walking back over to you and says, "Hey, Sildar and I are going to take off. We got to get going. There's one more coming. He should be here right about." And as he's saying this, it's gotten late into the evening. There's an old, grandfather clock over in the corner that's running. It's an old dwarven, so it's like a big blocky, but beautiful piece, just dwarven style. And it kind of ticks towards and hits the midnight hour for midnight. As that happens, up on the stage where the two bards are, there's smoke kind of starts rising between them, and this isn't part of their act. You can tell because right away they start getting a little bit panicked, and they both kind of egress from the stage because they think perhaps that something's kind of starting on fire around them. The halfling bartender has gone and grabbed the water hose off the side and is aiming it at, but she can't see anything. She's not sure what's going on. And just as the clock strikes its final tick for midnight, everything in the room, all the candles, all the light flares out for a split second and then flares back up. And sitting on this stage is a large lizard-like looking creature with a rider. And Dave, you want to care to?
Rider.
Well, I mean, where do you start? With a grand entrance like that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was born at a young age.
I was born when I was born. Yeah. No.
Born at 7.
So there is this dark sapphire blue, for lack of a better word, small dragon. Dragonish. You can see it's not a dragon, but it's definitely
Dragon.
If you were to go through
dragon adjacent.
If you were to go through the family phone book, there would be a lot of dragons in there, cousins, uncles, kind of thing. But this sapphire blue, 10 feet long, 5 feet at the shoulder, possibly a confused look. On there's a tall, lanky, currently kind of slouched. You know how you get all slouched when you're riding, figure, and they're wearing this ancient armor of a chain and lacquered plates of deep dark red and black, kind of like a samurai's armor. He's got two swords on his left side, like a domed helmet with the fanned out neck guard, and this black steel mask of a crow's face. You can see there's slightly rusted in places. The armor it has been repaired here and there, maybe not as well as the original Manny, when it was built, but try to take care of it. He's got a long pole arm with this long curved blade at the end, kind of just resting on his shoulder, and a short, slightly tattered. And this is why I asked what kind of red the other guys are wearing, because he has a deep, dark red tattered cloak, and it's billowing behind him as if it's in a strong wind.
It's definitely a different color and not nearly as well. Although it's billowing and a little bit tattered at the end, it is still well maintained.
Right?
It's clean,
and
it is.
Kind of straightens up slowly scans the room. Alan, we talked about this. There's a reason we have reins. If you don't follow the reins, we get off track. Well, I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm not even mad at this one. This is wow. And the shadows in the bar kind of flicker, flash darkly, if that makes sense. And then he's standing beside the saddlebags. He reaches in, he pulls out two large hairs, and he walks to the head of this dragon adjacent creature, and he feeds them the two hairs, and he's like, okay, go outside, just wait out front, don't eat anyone, don't, we had that talk already, and we're not having that one again. Go outside. Once I figure out what's going on, I'll come out with some meat and a bowl of beer. And then he says something to him in a different language, kind of slaps him on the rump, and he looks around, just kind of trying to figure out what's going on as this lizard makes its way through the crowd out of the bar.
Have you got Alan's character sheet up?
I do have Alan's character sheet up.
Give me a dex check to see if he can kind of slither through here without sideswiping and tail thumping tables and chairs and.
Okay. Do we have a rule for like a give a shit check? I mean, I'll be honest.
I think that's a flip of the coin.
Like that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. He is Dex. What is his acrobatics? Or let's go with acrobatics.
Acrobatics or Dex.
It's a 14.
That's pretty good. So
yeah,
Alan the Dragonel looks at you with disdain. Does take the hairs and does he crunch or does he gulp?
I was like, he's a teenager, right? He's
that doesn't help me any. That's
he's a gulper. He's just like
does he swallow like a snake or does he crunch like a wolf?
Does he eat sandwiches like Ricky?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's going to crunch it up, but I mean, he's not like a big. It's just more just because it's easier to swallow if it's all flat. Does that make sense?
The crowd is disgusted by the crunching noises he makes as he smushes these down to swallow size.
I say hair, but that's just the easiest word that came to mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're not.
Yeah, they're
not Faerun hair.
Yeah, that's fair. So, okay. But his dex check is good, or his acrobatics. So while he does kind of like bunt, he doesn't spill over any tables. He doesn't knock over any beer. I think because he's expecting that if he does that, he's not going to get his bowl when he gets outside. So Alan slithers out, goes out the front door. Alan? He's 10 feet long.
Yeah, 10 feet long, 5 foot at the shoulder.
Yeah. He's not a small critter at all, right? This is a mount. No. He can ride. As you're doing this, Gundren's going to like climb up on the table beside Aster. Your fucking father knew how to make an inference too, asshole. Get over here.
And he looks around, cocks his head at the mention of the father, nods, reaches into like his little side pouch here, and he pulls out this letter, and it's dark stained, like it looks like it's been dipped in rust.
Oh.
And he walks over, places the letter down on the table. My father did not survive long enough to receive this letter. And unfortunately, your messenger did not survive delivering. But I guess a favorite ode is a favorite ode, and I shall repay.
I don't think it's so much you saying that as your boss, but that's all right. You're part of the team. We'll make do with you. We'll see what you can do. Your dad was a pretty sophisticated fighter. I quite enjoyed watching him work. So we'll see what you can do.
Aster's gonna kind of look at him a little suspiciously, and is just kind of curious if he's like a warlock, or like involved in any kind of infernal dealings.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Well, that was a 7. I've had a few.
So he's wearing armor.
Mhm.
He's got like a pole arm, 2 swords at his side. I mean, you can see his armor's been repaired, patched, has got nicks and whatever. Though it is all, in a very monochromatic color, not so much a warlock. Not getting a warlocky vibe.
Okay. Aster relaxes a bit when she thinks that.
Yeah. Unless, I don't know.
Gundren
Shadowy?
immediately rolls a cup across to you, slides it across the fucking table kind of thing, a full cup. What's your name, lad? I never caught it.
My name is Riven, but if you find it easier, you may call me Riven.
Aye, that is the same, but okay, that's how you work. Well, I'll call you Riven or Riven. One of the
I
two.
read a book where it says if you give people choices, it makes them feel comfortable.
Aye, you need a new book. But lad, yeah, grab yourself a drink. Talk to Kayla there. She'll jot you down. We'll get you guys paid after we get to the location. But for now, just have a drink, have a seat. I'm going to go talk to the fellow back here, Sildar, for real quick. And then I'll talk to you all, and then I'll get going. So have a drink. And Gundren hops down off the table, fucking after giving you a slap on the shoulder and kind of like hopping down off your own chair, using it as a step stool, and pops down over to talk with Sildar a bit more. So you're at the table with the rest of these people.
The drink comes out of your pay.
Ricky like pauses with his drink held up, like, we're being paid?
They're getting paid?
He's that meme. You guys are getting paid?
Yeah. Riven will he'll look at the drink, kind of grabs it, slides like a little bottom of part of his mask, takes a sip, slides it back, puts it down.
The Mandalorian?
And looks around so he can find that barkeep, I guess, to get meat and a bowl of beer for Alan.
The barkeep is still staring at you with the fire hose, like aimed at you, like expecting you to like start on fire. So she's got this thing like aimed at you. It's just there's a giant water tank on top of this place. So if she pulls that thing, it will literally pressurize and spray you a bit. So she's still staring at you a little bit.
He's gonna look at the not dragon, look at the barkeep and just kind of like exasperated, like wave her away. Write a note.
Does Riven talk to her about the...
Yeah, he wants to order like a roast.
Hey dear, I get it for you, but are you delivering it to him? Because I'm not going out to that thing.
Yeah, Alan's not good with other people. I guess I could do that. And a bowl, like a big bowl. Do you have a big bowl? A big bowl of beer.
Big bowl of beer.
We have a big bowl, but do you need to stable him for the night?
I mean, he kind of sleeps where he's comfortable.
Well, my customers aren't comfortable with him just sleeping anywhere.
Well, they don't have to sleep with him.
Right?
If they can't get into the facility, I've got no business. Can you park him down by the stables?
Park? You don't park Alan.
I don't do anything with Alan. You do.
That's don't worry about. He will feed. He'll have some beer.
Get him out of
He
the
will
front
go
of my business.
frolic.
Can Alan like climb things? With
Eh.
that kind of creature? Can we like stick him up in the rafters or something like that? So
Gecko.
unless somebody looks
Oh,
up,
no,
there's
no,
not an
no.
issue.
He's way too big for that. That's
Yeah, he's
I love
If I can
outside.
fit like a 6
Like
foot
an
toboggan
iguana.
up in the rafters, why can't I fit Alan?
because Alan is like a thick boy. He is not.
Yeah,
When he
So
says
he's-
5 feet tall at his shoulder, his chest is almost 5 feet deep. Like,
yeah. He's
like a Komodo
barrel
dragon.
chested.
yeah, thicker than
Dragon
a
Al.
He
Komodo.
tick.
Oh,
He
I don't
tick.
know.
Yeah.
What if he
As-
just sits like really still and people think he's stuffed like a war trophy? That could be like a point of
Nobody's
tourism?
thinking that thing is stuffed out front of me. And all right, I get you your bowl.
I got
I get you the meat.
Riven, let me show you our stable facilities. Maybe Alan will get along with Lord Chandral.
And no eating the horses.
Well, then please hurry with the roast.
This halfling just like rolls her eyes and goes like scooting off into the back.
Aster's gonna take you to the stables to show you where you might take Alan, just to show you what's what.
You're gonna hear the bartenders yelling from the back to Caleb. Caleb, put that on Gundren's tab. And you'll see this halfling come like with like it looks like a wheelbarrow, but like halfling size, but it's got a like full shank of beef. It's not fully cooked yet. Like it is. This was obviously like resting up on a thing like slow roasting.
Pulled
Yeah.
from the fire.
Yeah, fresh. And she's got like a small keg that hasn't been tapped yet.
Nice.
You picked the most expensive stuff you could, huh?
I mean,
Sorry.
lady's got to make a profit.
The most.
My job is to
expensive.
write it down. It's not quality control. Just
So she passes this over to you, this little wheelbarrow, but like at your height, it looks absolutely ridiculous as you're trying to wheel this thing out of the bar, out the front door.
Griffin will hand her a silver piece.
Oh no, lad, it's okay. Gundren's paying for everything.
Oh, but this is for you.
Oh,
I-
what a sweetheart, she says. She takes the piece
I
of
read
silver.
in a book that people like and are appreciated by these things, and he hands her this like ancient, like corroded silver coin.
I mean, yeah, it'll still sell. Thanks. She tucks it into her apron and walks back behind the bar. Seems a little bit happier and cheerful for having gotten that. So,
Yeah, and I'll take it out to Alan,
all right.
and then try to explain to Alan that they don't want him to sleep in the front.
And not to eat anybody
Or the horses.
or the
I mean,
horses.
A
would
lot of
Alan
things they're
not be
asking about,
happier
and I feel
having
like
like a
one of
little
these
bit of
isn't gonna happen.
space and not in like a crowded bar full of people?
He's not in the bar; he's in the street.
He's outside.
Outside. Sorry.
For the cars.
Where everybody comes out to vomit from the bar.
That sounds like an Alan problem.
It sounds like a vomiter's problem because they probably only get half a herc
Full of
out.
straw. He has a roast and some
It means
beer.
there's less vomit left in them when he eats them.
Even if you only get to half out there, Jonesy, you're still smelling like puke when you're riding in the morning. So once Riven has gone outside, he comes back in. Gundren has talked with Sildar, and Sildar you can see is he's on edge. You can tell he's kind of after seeing some things, and Riven's sudden appearance has certainly not made his mood any better. But he's simply scowling at everyone, and obviously in an eager mood to get going. So Gundren comes over and, I'm gonna take off for now. Sparkles knows where you need to go. She's got the map. There's a wagon. Will show up in the morning. Your job. Take the wagon. Head up to Phandalin. She's got the map. It'll get you there. It'll take you a couple of days. Y'all get paid once you get there. We have more work for you once we get to Fandolin and if we figure out some things with my brothers. But until then, all of you, get some sleep tonight. We head out you head out in the morning. I'll see you in Fandolin, most likely. If not, I'll leave a note with a fellow named Gimbal. What is it, Riven? You don't have to raise your hand.
There seems to be like a lot of people here for one wagon.
Actually,
You
have
have
a
your
feeling we're
own
missing
Alan,
someone.
don't you?
Just saying.
No, I no.
Everybody will have either a horse or a seat on the wagon. It's okay, don't worry. We've got it covered.
Oh, so we're not escorting this wagon.
You are escorting the wagon, but you don't have to ride on the wagon.
Okay, but I'm saying there's like a lot of people to escort a wagon.
Yeah, you're thinking everybody else outside the bar. Just the folk at this table are the ones who are going.
I swear to God, if I don't get a horse. I swear to God.
There's still a lot of
There's a
people.
wagon.
What's in the wagon?
Oh, just goods for the mine out there. There's a lady there who owns the Lion Shield coaster. She's got some goods that she needs delivered. They're preparing the wagon. That's why I don't have it right now. Their company's doing this. We're just acting as an escort for that. There's some fancy stuff in it for mining and for her soldiers that are already out there because they're having a little bit of a problem with some folk. So they need a little bit of hardware. But otherwise, it's just regular stuff. Shovels, pickaxe. You know, the usual mining stuff. Little bit of ale. Don't drink the ale. That's for the town. Hey?
I take your word. I've never mined. I don't know what the usual mining stuff is.
And then you'll learn. It'll be a glorious time for you, lad. You all have rooms upstairs. You guys can all rest. So continue drinking as late as you like, but as soon as the sun rises and the cock crows, you'll be on the road.
Wait,
Capiche?
are we being dismissed for the day?
Aye, Caleb. You can
Caleb
go
immediately
hang
starts
out.
packing all of her shit up and just like books it to the rooms.
Just be back down as soon as the sun rises.
Yeah, I got it. Door slams.
Hey,
Uh,
you're going to have to interrupt her because Caleb had all the keys for the rooms. So you're going to have to go up and knock. Anyways, Sildar, let's get going. The large human just gives a nod, looks at Aster, gives you a nod, and heads out the door, followed by Gundren. So those two take off. So there is still beer left in the large thing that was delivered.
Okay.
Vince, give me another con save here. Let's see how
Nice.
you're doing. Uh-oh.
I think I could play how he's doing.
That bad?
I mean, it was a 10, but that's going to be a fail at this point because it's getting harder. So definitely he's looking at Riven like you've like a really good way with like people. Like, the book you have? Can I read your book? Did you write your book? You wrote your book, right? Can I read the book?
I did not read the book and the book. I read it a long time ago. I wouldn't even.
You should tell me stories about the book tonight.
So while he's
Well-
doing that, I need Riven, Aster, Aiden. I guess Caleth is left already. So I need you three to give me a perception check about Ricky.
Ooh,
Wait, so me or nah?
No, you're up in the room, so you're okay.
perception 21. Aster's
14.
perceptive today.
What was your roll there, Aiden? You got a
19.
Oh, you're good then. All right.
Yeah.
So Riven doesn't realize, but Aster and Aiden both realize that Ricky has imbibed a little too much, and while he is still talking and jovial, he is heading towards. You can see he's doing the old. When
Oh.
you start getting that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, like he's gonna
It's a
puke.
lot of beer.
Ricky, I think let's take some air. I think it's getting stuffy in here.
Did the air belong to someone? I didn't mean to breathe it.
Oh, no. I just want to talk to you outside.
Okay.
The air's free. It's God's air. No kidding.
He'd
I
absolutely get
kind
up
of
and
gently escort
like-
him as I have many other patrons outside to have some air or time to do what he's got to do.
All right, Vincent, give me another con check here outside.
9. Wait, no.
Oh, yeah.
12.
No, you're.
Yeah.
So you get outside and you're happily chatting along about free air.
Mhm.
The fresh air feels glorious for about 30 seconds, and then you become violently ill, and basically all of the booze and your cucumber sandwiches are violently ejected
Lots
out
of
into the
food.
front.
He's very sorry about this. That seems to be the most important thing about this, is that Aster knows that he's sorry.
Yeah, and I'm holding your hair back and just patting you on the back.
He cries a little, for sure.
That's first time for everyone having a beer, right? That's poor old Ricky.
His family used to make beer. He was excited about beer.
When you're done, I'm gonna reach into one of my pouches and give you some herbs and just be like, chew on this with some hot water, and you might feel better in the morning.
He'd probably rather literally put it in his mouth and see about finding hot water to like steep it in his mouth.
It's fine.
He'd figure it out.
You'd figure it out. You just have
choose
some.
it.
Pouring
Yeah.
from a kettle directly into his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong. That is probable.
Good old Army of Darkness. All right, so Aster gets Ricky kind of squared away outside and leads him back inside. He's feeling a little rough. You all head upstairs for the evening. Get your keys from Kaleth, who is absolutely exasperated that she has to open her door to give people keys, even though it was her own damn fault for going up without giving them out.
I think Riven would stay with Alan.
You're going to set up a hooch outside with Alan?
I think more just, the crook of his tail kind of thing or whatever.
There is a very large window in your room that opens. It's a double wide, kind of thing. Alan may be
Right.
capable of sneaking in that window and laying on the floor rather than sleeping outside on the ground.
Right. But if I'm there, or maybe I could sneak him in, but I just so he doesn't eat anything.
Well, that's perfect. So bring him in the window
Yeah.
then.
All right.
So Alan scratches his way up the side of the building, clawing into the fucking brand new lumber. Chase is saying something, I think, about she's not paying for the damages, I'm pretty sure.
I think little hesitant flutters.
Got my coins out of my pocket.
Oh, he's actually
My
gonna.
patience.
So Alan's wings unfurl and he slowly kind of but the entire time he's got his over his eyes until he bumps into the thing and
Yeah.
then immediately latches onto the windowsill and kick scrambles into the window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of like how a puppy kind of.
Is he toothless?
No, he's got teeth.
No, I mean the animal toothless. The dragon.
Oh,
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
from How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
I mean, that's what I pictured with the he's just squashing food in his mouth. It was
That's
my
what I
bearded
thought.
dragon eating blueberries, where he's like, I don't need my teeth for this.
It's
That was a
more of a
horrible noise.
squish. Yeah.
So you guys all go to ground. Sunrise comes fairly. What is it there, Vincietta?
I was gonna say, I think it's worth noting, unless somebody got the key for his room for him, he'd be too afraid to bother
I think Aster
Kaylin and would fall asleep with his back against her door, never having worked up the courage to knock.
I think Aster had some
Aster's-
mama bear to you.
Yeah, Aster's
Okay.
gonna make sure you're okay and tuck you in and then just make sure you're okay in your room and kind of check on everyone, just listen in their doors, make sure they're okay.
I am.
Do you
ready
peek
to
through
play
any of this
some
stuff while you got him in there?
emotional Whiplash, Vince.
Oh,
He'd have probably been excited to finally be able to get a bath, so it wouldn't be hard to peek through his shit.
Would Aster have been doing a little bit of spying on what Vince has in his pockets, kind of thing, when he was?
yeah, Aster's gonna be respectful, but anything that's really noticeable, she's curious. So just
Give
wants
me
to understand who
give me
people are.
give me a perception check.
Ooh, nat 20 plus
wow, okay.
4.
So
4.
as you're undressing Ricky, who is like blubbering and telling like mumbling stories out and keeps talking about teeth and mom. You think he keeps saying mom.
Mhm.
His clothing as you're taking it off is not. This is not any material that you are used to seeing. It's not a similar nature to a lot of what you're seeing. It seems very similar to silk. A lot of silks, things like that. The leathers that he has are not a leather or from an animal that you are familiar with. They seem to be a little bit odd, and everything is like. The only way to describe it is like it's like. Have you ever picked up like a knockoff piece of clothing? You know, like Nike with the swoosh going the wrong way, kind of thing. Everything is like it's close, but it's not quite.
Right.
Right. So it's like somebody has been making this stuff, but doesn't quite know what they're doing. But at the same time, it's going to pass. But it seems odd to you, is what you're getting from it.
Somebody looks at a suit of armor and makes it out of foam. It's close, but it's not quite.
Right. So that's what
Okay.
you're seeing. But otherwise, he doesn't have anything super spectacular. He's got a weird. There's a handle from what looks like a farming sickle or knife, but it's just the handle. There's nothing attached to it. There's no blade or anything like that, and it's hooked to a leather strap that he's got kind of hooked onto his belt on a little hook that just dangles there. But otherwise, just standard adventure gear that is just like it's off-brand. It's that Eastern European knockoff stuff. So
Okay. Off-brand gear.
yeah,
Got it.
it's like he got all this stuff from like Wish.
Wish. Off-brand Wish.
I love it.
Nice. Okay. Aster's just gonna note that. But we're all kind of oddballs, it seems. So I'm just gonna make sure he's in his bed, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and quickly check on Shandi. Give him a rub down and a little scratch before I head to bed.
Don't forget the lavender.
Yeah, we have a ritual. There's lavender involved.
All right.
No one's seen it, so.
All right. So everybody goes to ground. I'll get Vince to give me another con save here. Let's see if you sleep or if you have a rough night.
20.
Oh,
Dirty
buddy.
20.
Ooh.
This is like this
The
is one of those
herbs
things where you're a young fella, remember, and you used to drink and you get sick, but you wake up in the morning and because you puked it all out, you are just like golden. You bound right out of bed right when the sun goes down. You can't believe like you love the taste of that alcohol. You're looking forward to the next chance you get. You have not
One
suffered
more.
the ill effects, right? So
It
you
has
guys-
a way less harsh effect than the weird stuff they would give me all the other times. It hurts
These-
less. And then my skin isn't inside out. Like, this is great.
What?
So yeah, you guys, as you move down the stairs, waking up as the cock crows kind of thing, sun's coming up. Ricky is already downstairs at the table.
Chewing on a raw potato.
Well, it's not raw. She's the innkeeper's morning assistant has come in, and she has basically. Ricky has asked for food, and she is providing it in a never-ending quantity because as he keeps eating, she keeps giving, kind of thing. So
Stomach was empty.
They probably noticed him eating a raw potato and were like, "Do you want food?" And he was like, "Yes, please." And then he
absolutely,
just kept saying yes, and they're eager to keep feeding him.
he found a raw potato that had been sitting in the corner of a room that had been knocked over when Riven made his
Yeah.
appearance there, and he picked that up and was gnawing on it like a rabid animal kind of thing.
The raw potato actually came from somewhere. It's going to be happening every single morning. Is one thing that he will consistently have to eat ever.
Oh
It's
God, a
all-
raw potato.
He just, when I rolled for the stuff that he had, one
Yeah,
of the items was a rucksack in which one potato magically appears at dawn each day.
this dude's been subsisting off of a raw potato his entire life.
Wow.
Okay, well,
I really enjoyed that a lot.
the halfling
That was
innkeeper's
fun.
assistant is cooking you. You have gotten chicken eggs, and she has found some a slab of bacon that she's cut some fresh off and has fried for you.
As I come down and notice the bacon, I say to him, I'd keep that smell away from Lord Chandral.
You just look up from like a hard-boiled egg that he had bit into, shell and all, like, okay,
You know you can peel those. No, just
Bill.
yeah. He's after the calcium. Oh my. No. That. Oh yeah. Anyways,
Good for the teeth.
as the rest of you meander down, there's already breakfast there for you. The innkeeper just lays the bill on Calith's portion of the table and gives her a wink with the running tab. And
Did Kayla maybe just saying like read before she went to bed or when she woke up in the morning?
does Calith want to read?
Always.
Well, tell me what you're reading.
You know what I'm reading.
50 Shades of Grey.
No, not quite, but kind of.
You're not
50
allowed to
Shades of
read this. This
Elminster.
is my book. It's not anybody else's book. It's my book. Nobody knows about it. I read in my room. Nobody sees it.
But it happened.
But it happened. There was reading.
Yep.
All right.
I'll roll for it. Should I keep that secret for now?
Yes. You can text it to me.
It's a 6.
It's a 6? Okay. We'll look that up afterwards. So, as you guys finish your breakfast, except for Vince, who just, until one of you actually mentions that you don't need to eat everything because we'll have more food later.
I don't know so much as if Riven came down for. Well, he came down early, pre-dawn.
Pre-dawn.
Pre-dawn
Before the
with
potato.
Alan.
Fully
Probably-
dressed.
Oh
Did
yeah,
Alan
fully
come
dressed.
down through the stairs, or did Alan go out through the window?
How's your system work, Morley?
10
the
below is
D20.
low.
Yep.
Above is good.
0
Oh,
to
so-
10 is low. 11 and above is good. So you
Good.
make good decisions.
Yeah, he goes down the stairs.
Nice.
So the rest of you are awakened by a scream from the assistant innkeeper who was not aware that this thing was up there and coming down. So
Mhm.
that is your first awakening for most of you, is a loud scream as a halfling is startled out of her fucking blue jammies there. Fucking
Yeah, and he's just going to go outside, and just he's going to sit down cross-legged, and he's takes the sword out, both of them, lays them in front, and he's going to wait and watch the sunrise.
as the sun rises and the color
Just
slowly rises up.
motionless, and just watch that color wash over the land.
But more the sun when it washes over him, he feels it from the top of his head down. Does he take his helmet off to absorb it, kind of thing?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
So he just feels it through his equipment, that sun that he hasn't felt in a very long time, actually
the
warming,
warmth and
Yeah.
that color.
life-giving. Yeah.
Yeah, and just hearing all the noise around him.
It's a
Like-
pretty quiet morning. You can hear the small
Well, like-
animals
And
chirping. And,
birds
Yeah.
singing,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
the life.
coming back without fear of getting eaten by something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. But as you guys finish eating and Vince is kind of dragged away from the table, kicking and screaming, with he's
Stuffing food into his backpack.
Yeah. He's going and again Caliph getting the bill from the innkeeper to make sure she logs. You get outside and there is a fellow there. He's an armored soldier. He has escorted up. There's 2 horses, or sorry, not horses. There's 2 large oxen that are pulling it's a longer than average trailer. It is covered. There are some shelves in it. There's if you guys inspect it real quick, anybody want to look inside? Boom.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
It's full of mining stuff. It has no interest to me.
It is. There's mining stuff. There is oil. There is.
Has there been like specific instructions not to snoop?
No, there were no instructions of that nature.
Caleb doesn't care.
it's open season. Like you guys can go inside of this wagon. There is actually a space for like, there's about 2 people can probably fit inside here, sitting down side by side. But it is fairly clustered. With like I said, there's a couple of barrels of lamp oil. There's kegs of beer or ale. There's a couple of casks of wine. There are you see like pickaxe heads, a lot of iron implements, things like that, shovel heads, all that sort of stuff inside of this thing. And it's an extremely well built trailer though. Like this it just seems really, really well put together compared to most wagons that you may have seen in your time. When you guys are kind of moving around it and the oxen are moving, the wheels they're not even squeaking as they're moving. Like they're just they're actually on like iron bearings, unlike most wagons, which are just a wooden wheel around an axle kind of thing, just turning. These things are just immaculately built kind of thing. This is definitely you can see it's dwarven construction. It looks like it's a mountain or mining wagon. It's a little bit shorter, lower to the ground kind of thing, but they've put this covered wagon top onto it to allow more stuff to go into it. And there's a couple of shelves inside, stuff like that. The fella from the Lion Shield Coster, he's got his tabard on, so it's obvious. You can see the large lion on top, the front of his thing, on top of a yellow shield, blue background. He comes over. I'm assuming you're Aster.
Yeah. Is everything ready to go? We're supposed to head off quickly.
Yeah, he's handing you over it's basically a list of all the equipment. Everything's ready to go. You just have to deliver it to our store up there. You can talk to Gimbal. He's the easiest guy. He'll know where to go with this stuff. So just find him up there, and he'll direct you where we need this delivered. Once you're there, you'll get paid. You don't get anything up front.
Right. Yeah. Boss said so. I hand the list over to Caleb. Say, you should probably make a note of this stuff.
You're muted. Caleb. We can't hear you.
Muted. Mutes. That's a drink. Drink. Mutes.
Is it?
We can't see the hatred stare because your eyes are slightly out of scope.
She's still muted. That's the best part.
I wasn't asking you. I was talking to you guys.
Oh.
You got handed the list of everything in the cart in the wagon.
Still muted.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you, Matt. I have the list now.
Chase, we can't hear you. You're still muted.
Yeah, they handed it to me, and I just handed it over to you because you're the paperwork person.
All right, so we have.
Did I get a horse?
You do. There are horses.
Yep.
So there are enough horses for everyone to ride if they want to, but somebody has to drive the wagon. So the horse
wagon
will still
has
go with you.
horses too.
It's got oxen.
Oh.
Yeah, oxen. They're a little more hardy for these kinds of journeys. So who's riding or driving the wagon? Your horse will be tied up, or your mount will be tied up to the back.
I mean,
Ricky can try if someone tells him to.
There you go. Ricky's moving into the pole position here.
Someone's like, someone better drive this thing. And he's like, yes, ma'am.
All right. So is somebody going to explain to Ricky how to drive a wagon? And
we're just going to assume
he'll talk to the oxen.
You don't know. Oh, yeah.
Caleb does also not know how to drive a wagon.
The oxen continues to chew and kind of looks you in the eye. And you can see in that eye a deep pool of infinite knowledge that it is keeping secret from you, Ricky. It has secrets it's never going to tell. That ox.
He's gonna get down from the wagon. He's gonna walk over to the ox, and he's gonna whisper in its ear, "We got to do this. Like it's our work. Like we got to get this done. Like Moss said we have to, and the dwarven guy said this is what we're doing, and Aster said so too."
Give me an animal handling check.
Look at him very confused. You know, maybe I was mistaken. He's not the turtle toucher. You're the turtle toucher.
I was hungry. There's a soft shell turtle. All right, you just.
Oh, how?
No.
What'd you roll
Crunch,
there,
crunch,
Vince?
crunch,
6.
crunch.
A 6?
Yeah,
Oh
not great.
no.
The oxen doesn't pay any attention to you whatsoever and just continues eating the grass off the ground.
I'll go back to the seat and look like mildly defeated.
What's the holdup?
They don't want to go. I don't know if it's like a union thing or like a pact thing. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know the words to make them go.
There's words to make them go. Hamule.
You use the reins?
I'm gonna talk to the rein now. I'll pick up the reins. I get reins. I've ridden horses. I'll experiment with them, make them move backwards at first, and then this forward. Like I'll puzzle. I'll figure it out.
The first things he does with the reins, both of the oxen immediately start backing up. So I need you to make me a dex check to see if you fall off the wagon forwards. Now, because you did so good on your con save, though, you don't get disadvantage for being drunk the night before.
I appreciate the absence of a level of exhaustion. 16.
16. You manage to stay on the wagon, and like as it rolls forward, you're like, and like you do the old like halfway down, and then push yourself back up. And your next like, and the oxen realize that this is a forward motion we're doing instead. So they immediately kind of reverse direction and just about throw you over the back of it into the covered wagon.
I'm still going to cheer as if I succeeded at something tremendously difficult.
So do you look around the wagon at all, like as you're sitting here?
I mean, I'd probably look back to make sure nothing fell out.
Everything's pretty well strapped down. Like there's nothing should be moving in there. You could probably run into a rock wall with this thing going full speed, and nothing's going to shift. But
I guess I'd also examine my workstation.
There we go. Give me a perception check.
20, dirty.
Dirty 20. There is a large hand lever, which appears to be hooked onto one of the wheels, which acts as basically a handbrake, which will allow you to, if you're going down a hill or something like that, you need to slow down and give the oxen a little bit of a break so they're not getting run over by this thing. You can assist with that kind of thing. Otherwise, it looks like it's a wooden seat. It does have a bit of a cushion, so your ass isn't getting pounded the entire trail. But that's a drink.
That's a drink.
Yeah,
It's a drink.
but
Big cushion, ass pounded. Well done.
You're definitely riding in a good position. You're going to be all right. So for the rest of you, let's get a animal handling check as we start the first part of the day. Don't worry, I won't keep you guys going too much longer.
Oh, we can go all night.
Yeah.
It's
Fuck
past
you. You
my
think we
bedtime.
can't go all night? I'll show you.
Past
Getting
my
your ass
bedtime.
pounded all night, I bet. I mean, it's
Past Chase's
That's
bedtime.
another drink. Matt's like, no. 18.
18,
19 for ribbon.
19.
19 for Aiden.
Okay, Chase, what do you got?
6.
A 6. Okay,
Those
and
need your dice again.
Literally slides off the side.
If it counts for anything, the last time I rolled this
saddle
dice, it was a 19. This
so
time
Ricky,
it was a 5.
give me you have advantage on this
It'd be
one.
awesome if she stays in the saddle, but the saddle just totally
Yeah,
slides all the way
that's
down.
19.
All right, so you guys start riding. Caliph, you are, while you have ridden horses before, you haven't really done at this extent or length. You're mostly a city girl, so you've kind of stuck around, and your horse riding has been limited to shorter excursions, shall we say? So you definitely start to feel a little bit sore. Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit roughed up.
A little chafing.
Yeah, a little chafing. You guys, as you're riding, give me an order of what we have for who's doing what here. Because we got Ricky on the wagon.
Aster, because she has the map, she's going to take the lead in front of the wagon.
Okay.
Caliph is kind of just gonna, because horses like to group together and like establish an order, she's just gonna let her horse go in like whatever order it wants, but she will not get behind the carriage.
What's your
Will
horse's
not.
name?
Yeah, I think Ricky would have made a point of figuring that out.
Bubs.
Bubs. Okay.
Sir Bubs? Lord Bubs?
Just
Barkeep
Bubs.
Bubs in hand.
Like
Bubs, got
Beyonce, just Bubs.
Bubs.
It's like a normal looking
man.
roan horse. Bubs.
Bubs.
Judging by the look of this horse, I would say that there's 90% chance that there's a silent Q in its name.
There's not.
The Cubs. That's a silent Q.
95%.
And Riven's riding Alan? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, and it's probably going to be Lazy S's. And lots of come on, Alan. How do we have to talk about this every time? And it's just meandering kind of. Maybe there's something in the tree over there, or maybe but I mean, generally with the group, but Alan is it's like a field trip.
I feel like
Alan
Alan
is,
doesn't even have reins. Like, there's just the saddle, and then Alan goes where he
There
wants to
are
go.
reins. That's the whole thing. They have conversations about the reins constantly.
So Alan is basically, he's flushing animals out that are on the side of the trail. He's watching the birds fly a little bit enviously. You can kind of see it in his face. He is, but he's definitely enjoying every time there's a patch of sunlight. He will go over and stop in it and sun for a few seconds. You can see him. He'll close his eyes for a second and then carry on. Old Oinker there is very much the same. As soon as he gets into the sun, he seems to prance a little bit because he warms up. Yeah.
Is he like a big old war boar, like a forest god from Princess Mononoke? Am I imagining
Yes.
this right?
Yes,
That is correct.
But like oiled and well taken care of mane, and he smells really good.
So
Oddly,
he's not mud painted by his brothers. He's like
No.
coiffured by
yes,
you.
he's quite weird. Yes, is that a word? He like
Well, I
a
think-
little braid on the side.
Do you have like one of those sticks that like ladies use when they show their pigs?
No, we have a good relationship. Unnecessary.
Yeah. You don't
Lord
need a
Chandrel
tapping
is a
stick.
very intelligent boar. He's very, very
yeah.
intelligent.
He's a lord.
He's
But
Lord.
You,
Sean.
you don't just earn the lordship without, being an intelligent fellow. Yeah, that's
Right.
I mean, look at the royalty. They were all intelligent. I'm kidding. Inbreeding. No.
The ones that are not currently diagnosed with cancer.
What was that family's name with the jaw? The can't remember. Habsburg, I believe it's called.
Now you're just making up names.
Anyways.
That sounds
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah. What are you guys talking about? Are you looking around? Is anybody perceiving or looking around specifically for threats, or are you all kind of? It's a pretty relaxed. Like, you guys are on a main trail.
Mhm.
There are patrols that go up and down this thing between Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep, right? So it's not an untracked trail. This is a fairly major transport line. So you guys pass other riders going north while you guys are heading south right now.
I think Riven would be just out of habit.
Does Riven hide whenever you guys pass? Do you like scoot into the trees and kind of skirt, or do you
Nope.
ride on the trail openly and?
Riding the trail openly. I mean,
Okay.
he's all covered. He's good.
Your motley crew definitely gets a lot of looks going past with the
Right.
oddities that are
Sure.
riding this.
Like,
Um,
honestly, like,
This
it's, Riven scooting into the woods would be no different than that meme of that bear standing behind that little sapling.
Sure,
Right.
but it feels like something that he would do because he doesn't like the area that you come from. There's a lot of danger, so
Yeah, but I mean, he
Comparatively.
wouldn't get anywhere. I mean, it's not his first rodeo.
Sure.
And he knows, I mean, the difference between the two places. He's been through here a lot. Maybe not in the past little while. I mean, it's been a while since he's been out and about. But I mean, he knows the concepts, right?
All right.
And he's already drawing attention. So to do even more would be suspicious and draw even more attention. People would actually go and physically look for him if he went and did that, right?
okay. All Morley, you haven't really looked at that ring that your auntie gave you. Looking, you've just kind of. Did you just tuck it away in a bag, or?
It's in my pocket.
Okay.
I was fiddling around with it there last night, in the bed. Just kind of spinning
That's
it,
So
strange.
it's not this kind
taking a
of
look at it.
Wrong
Is it
type
for
of
a
ring.
finger?
Get
Right.
that thing cut off is. Oh,
And
she know?
I'm
that means his auntie used it.
Was this Gundren's?
Oh, he just borrowed it for a night or
Give it-
two.
give it a
Oh,
sniff. I'm like,
Oh no!
no.
So you got me cock ring.
I'm like, this is supposed to hide me from danger. Huh. And I'll slip it on one of my fingers before falling asleep, but not doing anything to like attune to it or anything. I just put it on.
As soon as you put it on, you can feel there's just a
Don't say a vibrating tingle.
there's a vibrating
Giant red
tingle
eye that looks back.
immediately.
Yeah.
No,
Starting at
Chase
your
has gone
root
completely the
chakra.
wrong place that Dave did. There was like there's an absolute opposites
That
there.
was a slow burn.
Yeah. Yeah, you only get the burning red eye when you catch something and you need antibiotics. But you immediately there's a connection. There is no ifs, ands, or buts that this is something that knows your family. This has been around for a long time, and it's not sentient, but it feels like it warms up as soon as you've got it on your finger. It's happy there. It's in its happy place kind of thing.
Then I'm gonna immediately take it off and try it on a different finger and see if I get the same.
I definitely did
sensation.
not think that's where he was going with that.
I know.
Yes. As soon as you put it back on, that same sensation, and it's you get it feels comfortable. It's that's like getting into an old pair of PJs that you love. It's that feeling of putting that ring on. So
And I'm immediately gonna pull it off and I'm gonna fit it on the end of my nose.
the tip of your nose gets a little warm, and it smells funny.
It wants to be really intimate.
Really, yeah. There's maybe a little too much you didn't want to know about that, but anyways, yeah.
History of the ring.
Poor history.
Kat, for Aster, the bag that you were given.
Yeah.
You've already noticed that when you stick your hand into this thing, you can basically go up to your shoulder and it disappears. This is a bag of holding.
Yeah.
What?
But it's
Just like that?
well, just Chikai. I know magic items. How dare we, right? Fucking
Okay.
God forbid. But yeah, so it is a bag of holding. It's definitely not empty. There's still room for stuff to go into it, but as Gundren said, don't be turning it inside out until you get to town, kind of thing. So
Right. So
I'm gonna bring
this.
this up at the next
Follow
Guild of
orders.
Angry Dungeon Masters.
you've got a fucking dragonelle named Alan. Shit.
Ranarat has a bag of holding. What are you talking about?
That's
Since
true.
the beginning of the dungeon.
Oh, he did too. Thank you, Matt.
but what
I
did it
bought
cost
before
you?
we went down?
Indication.
What did it cost you?
I think it cost
500
me
gold.
500 gold.
Woo!
Yeah, that 500
Worth
gold
it.
we got for free right at the start, so it didn't cost him anything technically.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
And yet
yeah.
he still has all the healing potions.
Well, that's where they store. Duh, they don't get broken in there.
And money.
Corey would blow them up,
And dragon loot,
You're not wrong.
right?
allegedly.
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 All
Of
right,
course, we'll
so
decide whether or not there's dragon lit.
May have to give some of it back.
you guys are riding along here. Chase has disappeared, but that's okay. As you're riding, what was that there, Vince? You had
I was gonna say Ricky is a prey animal. He's definitely looking around himself a lot, but he is distracted wondering what Alan's real name is because he doesn't seem to respond well to Alan.
well, while you are a prey animal, the oxen that are in front of you have a bit of a calming effect on you because of the fact that they are also prey animal. They have eyes on the side of their head. They're walking around, and they are not stressed at this moment in time. Even with Alan, who they have gotten very, very comfortable with, the oxen seem to have a bit of a relationship with Alan because of just their nature being very large beasts. And
I'm sorry, we're talking about prey animals and eyes on the side of the head. Does Ricky have eyes like a rabbit?
No, Ricky's a human. I meant prey animals, and because he had initially asked us what we were
Keep
doing
talking
if we
for
were
2 seconds.
watching stuff. So I just wanted to make it clear he is looking around for danger because he's inherently a nervous creature.
Mm.
Right?
Guys, I
Muted
don't
yourself.
like how Raph's matrix is breaking down like that.
Right?
There's a glitch there for sure.
Nothing should really be able to sneak up behind you if you're driving the carriage, though. So, like, realistically, you have just like your side to side and your forward to worry about. No?
He's terrified of the 4-foot
Can
tall
I ask
creature,
a
though.
bit of a silly question? What is? I'm assuming you guys went through like your character description and races and all that kind of jazz already.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about our classes or anything.
Yeah, we haven't talked.
No, that's fine. I'm just curious what people are and such.
Aster's
Human.
a very tall half orc with small tusks and blue skin and pink hair.
I don't think I
And
remembered the pink hair.
tails.
That's great.
Oh, you gotta have the pig.
Disappointed your hair is not pink, but that's fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But you're doing the pigtails, and that's baller.
I'm doing the
Sorry.
pigtail. I
Had to let the dog out.
Blue either, so.
Yeah,
So-
Riven's just a 6'3" guy in armor.
Is he
Just-
flat-faced or long-faced?
He's
wearing a mask.
pro mask face.
He's masked.
Crow mask. Okay, so who knows?
Who knows?
Like full plague doctor mask. Okay.
And Ricky's a human. What's your character, bro?
Aiden's a half elf, and he's got silver white hair, swept back, pointy little ears, very well manicured beard, little twisty mustache.
And you,
Beautiful
Chase?
accent.
I am an Eladrin. Like younger, but for Fey Elven, like 103 years old. Young for my
I was gonna
race,
say,
not young.
for the rest of the
general
group that doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Female, dark brown, almost blackish hair. Has some like very light blue eyes and is like pale with like pink undertones and is really only about like 4 feet tall and very, very beanpole-y.
Sorry, Raf, I was just getting a quick description.
No,
'cause
that's
you
good.
just-
That's perfect.
It's good.
I had to let the dog out. So
It's good to summarize,
she
too.
rang, and I
Who
think
let
the wife's
the dog
asleep. So
Who let the
Who
dog
let
out?
the
Yeah,
dogs
Raph, because it's bedtime.
not yet. It's only 9:57. We still got Matlock. You're good.
Fading.
I won't keep it much longer. I
2
promise.
minutes chased spontaneously.
Right?
It won't be a real episode if Chase doesn't fall asleep. Isn't that like a rule?
Yeah.
I
We haven't
think
had-
I'm still the only one who's actively fallen asleep during a
Yeah,
podcast.
That was pretty good. I gotta say.
And
that was-
snored.
Yeah.
Snored.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Did I?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
Did I?
Jesus. All right. So, Jesus, you guys are proceeding down the trail. You're kind of getting to know each other every once in a while. One of you guys will stop and talk as you move out.
I know
Aster
you
is.
are wanting to wrap up, but can Caliph kind of just like grab like dead dried grass that's like tall enough to grab from her horse, so like nice and long, and
We're
like
not
slowly
rolling. You
is
are.
just okay. I know. Like slowly just start like weaving it into a net,
Yeah, absolutely.
like one
Just-
piece at a time. Yeah.
Like what kind of a net though are we talking? Are we talking like a little like butterfly net or fishing net or something, or what do you? Just a pattern.
How long are we going?
Well, this is almost a 2-day ride,
day.
so
Yeah. Full day
2-day net.
camping.
Something big enough. The goal is to like weave it into something big enough to be like catching like a humanoid creature almost.
Ricky's no
grass?
longer watching the environment. He's
Out of grass.
wary of Caleb.
he's just
Like weaving
fascinated
it.
by Caliph weaving a
No, he's instead of watching the environment, he's watching the Fae that made a human catching net. The fear is back.
yeah, I was just gonna
Dissipating
say,
its back.
all right, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. All right. Somebody give me a d20.
I have to ask.
Oh, I rolled a 20.
17.
Oh, 18, 17, 20.
Hold on, who said that first? Was that Matt? Was that a 20?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Wait a minute, you're not here.
Shit. Yeah.
I rolled a 17.
17 there? Okay, that's still good.
Yeah.
All right, let me just check here. All right. So all through the day you guys ride. Some of you are learning there are certainly muscles they didn't know existed because they haven't ridden in a long time. Some of you are well used to this, doing trips in and out of Neverwinter faster. So you're used to it. But as you guys are going, like I said, you're passing merchants. There's you see soldier patrols are usually in groups of at least 4 wandering past. As the evening starts to lengthen a little bit, you guys start to realize that you're making it towards the evening, and you're going to have to kind of park for the night. Do you guys start looking for a campground kind of thing or somewhere to park?
Yeah, Aster's gonna. I've been up and down this road a number of times, so I'm gonna look for somewhere familiar.
Okay.
From before.
You're near to an area that you knew there was several bluffs that give very, very good cover from the wind and allow you to put up lean-tos for rain if you need it, as well as sheltering like your fire and your noise to prevent creatures from hearing that you're in the area. So you're not far from that. Do you want to lead the group down to that?
Yeah. I will.
All right. So as you guys are moving down this trail, give me a perception check at the front there, Aster.
13.
13. Okay, that's not bad. Where is Riven right now? What is he doing?
I think he. I mean, what time of day is it? Is it still light out?
We're into evening. It is light out, but it's like we're moving into dusk here. So the sun's starting to set. You're starting to see that red on the horizon kind of thing. You've got probably 45 minutes an hour before the sun sets.
I mean, he's probably close to, but I mean, he's still kind of just lazy-assing his way, I don't know, maybe weaving through trees back onto the road, into the field, back onto the road.
But you're behind the cart?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fair. What about Aiden? Are you in front or behind?
Aiden's fallen back, so he's riding next to the cart, and me and Ricky are talking. Well, okay. I'm talking, and Ricky's there.
Ricky is still staring at Caleth, who is still knitting a human catching net, and he's got that wide-eyed, white of his eyes are kind of showing a little bit, when you put something by a dog's mouth that they don't like and they do the old.
I'm either staring at her or I'm staring 1,000 yards beyond her. It's hard to tell.
Like Sora when I grab the nail clippers, just stares at me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna move, but
that part fear eye thing. Yeah. Aster easily finds a spot. She's like you've said, you've been down this road a couple of times. You've definitely had to park with Gundren in his searches for information over the months that you've been with him. So you easily find a trail that leads off. It's pretty subtle if you don't know what to look for, but like I said, you've been here before. The cart does fit down the trail. It is pretty tight once you get into the trees. It's not hugely treed as you move into this area, but it is definitely copses of bushes and things like that really help kind of dampen the sound and light that'll come out of the area that you're going into.
Well, be careful around that tree, but it's just down here.
As you come around the corner into the it's a bit of a dell that's kind of sunken down in here. It's a great place for setting up. It's really, really well and isolated, but you're not the only person who has apparently used this spot before. There's a couple. They've already got a fire going. They've got a lean-to set up against the one rock face for warmth, so the fire's rated against it, giving you all that heat kind of thing. And they're sitting and they've got a small kettle going for it appears a tea or a warm beverage kind of thing. And they're kind of settled down. They've got some of their gear off and it's hanging. They may have hit a rainstorm on the way up kind of thing. They're kind of drying a little bit of their gear. As you guys roll in, what do you want to do?
I draw my rapier and kill them both.
Bruh.
Roll
Aster-
perception.
Rocks fall. Morley dies.
Suspicious.
Aster's going to address the couple and say, we have a large party. Do you mind if we camp over there? And I'll just point to a nearby area, but not like in their space.
Well, it's there is one area, but it's kind of like enclosed. There's nowhere to go 'cause
Oh,
it's all like
that's
rocks.
it?
Well, yeah, you
Okay.
guys can all fit in there for certain, and it's not going to be like crowded type, but it's going to be definitely you're going to be in the same vicinity
Is
as.
there like
Okay.
presents up in here?
Mind if we join you for the
Sure.
evening?
The lady there, an absolutely like striking woman. She stands about 6'3", like silver flowing hair, very very tall.
Just a fucking unit.
Yeah, that's the correct phrasing for it.
Unit.
And she moves.
She
like,
stands unit to unit with Aster.
Yeah. Well, Aster is a bit,
I'm 6. A bit shorter.
Oh.
but Aster's a bit kind of like
6'3".
bulkier. This lady is built like a dancer, like a very lithe, like not a ballet dancer, but definitely a dancer. Like she's just, and she moves like it is almost hard sometimes to see her move, like how quickly and smoothly her body flows from one position to another, kind of thing. It's almost creepy to watch. With her is an older fella. They're both like they're not overly equipped, kind of thing. They're both wearing kind of medium cost clothing, and they both have weapons, things like that. He's got a what you would probably call like a half staff that he's been you can tell he's been using as a walking stick, because the bottom half of it has a little bit of mud kind of up to like an inch or two on the bottom of it. But
Any
he's also
red
got
cloaks visible.
no red cloaks visible. But you can give me a perception check if you'd like.
I wish to do a perception check for their
22.
relationship to each other.
Oh,
From
It's a 20.
from seeing them.
Yep.
Sorry,
From-
21.
21 for. All right, so
That'd be more an insight.
yeah.
All right.
But,
20. Dirty 20.
No, yours is a 21 there.
I
Yeah,
see.
you're doing
Okay.
a
Yeah.
perception to see them, so
Yeah,
you're looking at them. But Morley is trying to see their relationship status. Just settle down there, Casanova.
Okay,
Uh,
well,
Facebook.
if it's insight, I rolled a 20 and I have a +7. So it's a
I
27.
get that, but you have zero information at this point in time.
I
because
don't
it's
care.
literally just
I want
walking-
to
Body
see if,
language. Body language.
yeah, I want to
Yeah.
know if they're like together or not.
What you are getting off of their body language is that they are very comfortable with each other, but you can't tell which way or another. You haven't
Comfortable, like,
had
you know,
enough time.
nice
They
uncle.
know each other.
like,
They have been around each other for a long time. They know each other's mannerisms. Seeing them move around the fire, this is not an uncommon thing for them. They have
Okay,
worked
okay.
together, setting up a camp before, that sort of thing.
so
Kat,
you're
you
telling me
see
there's a trash.
1 in a million. Jesus, Morley, don't make this awkward between us. All right. Anyways.
Now that's what he's gonna do, Raph. You
Yeah,
should
right.
know better.
You obviously know, right?
So his stuff, his equipment is kind of laid down on the over by their camp. You can see there's a well-made sword. It looks like.
well-made? Insight.
What's Insight going to do for a sword?
I
Dude?
have no idea. I'm fucking with you.
He just wants to roll.
Sure. The couple, or the silver-haired lady, stands up and takes a quick look at the fella, and then looks back at you and smiles and says, "There's more than enough space for all of us here. Feel free to set up your camp. We've got a fire going. We can certainly make it larger." And she points at the Riven's mount, Alan. "Is that thing well fed so it's not going to eat our horses?"
Well, I mean, he's been snacking. I will feed him, and I'll remind him not to eat your horses or you. But
Well, I'm not worried about me, dear. He can certainly try, but my horse is kind of close to me, and I'd prefer not to lose this one.
I mean, I can't make any problems. Alan's Alan.
She is going to lock eyes with Alan, and there you can tell there's an absolute passage of something going there. And Alan is going to like kind of like shake head, snort, and in kind of like a shock and surprise, and then kind of give like a head down acquiescence acceptance of this lady.
What's his name? What's his name, lady? Lady, ma'am? What's his name?
Ask him his name. Yes.
His name is Alan.
I don't believe it.
Well,
Right.
and I'll,
And Ellen kind of looks at her like, and don't let him tell you it's Skeltricodiax. His name is not Skeltricodiax. Alan, we don't steal people's names.
Should I be writing that down?
I'm not doing shit.
Come on, write that down.
We don't do that. We don't go and steal things for the queen anymore and like that. Just
Oh.
Alan, his neck scales kind of like stand up and then like slap down, and he kind of gives a snort of
Duration.
meh. I'll steal what I want.
How big is my net now? Like, would you say it's like a 5x5 at least?
Well, yes,
big
but
enough to catch an Alan.
is this fresh weaved grass or is this dried grass?
You said I was gonna grab like dry grass.
Okay, so you have almost a kite of dry grass. So let's say at this point in time, as you've been going, this thing is like a 5-foot diameter circle.
Cool. I'm gonna take my
Out of
net
yard.
that I just made. I am gonna look at the lady, full void eye, hiss, and climb up a tree and tether myself up into the tree.
So you're making yourself a hammock out of your net, and
Jesus.
That's. Ricky does not seem reassured by this very much.
Poor
Now
Ricky.
it's above him.
His heart rate just jumped like 20
It's
beats.
up there.
Ricky's
It
like, I'm
has-
taking
And
first
now it's
watch.
above him in the tree. Can't really make out where exactly.
And
Tiny
second
little
watch.
Fey lady, scary.
Third watch.
He's a little bit panicked at this point in time. The lady steps forward again, and she doesn't have most of her weapons on her. She does still have a dagger on her hip, but other than that, she is doing the old. She's very, very non-threatening. She is not doing anything. Lord Chandral seems very, very taken and wants to approach. He's wagging his tail like and making little happy pig grunting noises, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly underneath you. Yeah.
He's adorable.
And she says to you guys, she says, my name is Stornara. This is Elgorn. We're just on our way to Neverwinter. We're in the employ of the Queen of Cormyr. We're some of her courtiers. We're just heading there for a trade conference. How about yourselves?
We have just come from there, so do not worry. It still stands.
She
Just courtiers, just traveling, 2 of them by themselves.
she
Super
laughs
trustworthy.
like, and it's like tinkling bells, like it's just a happy sound, like, and she actually smiles, and it wipes away any doubt of misgivings or
Right.
fear of her at all.
Aster answers, our employer appreciates privacy. I'm sure you can understand that, working for the Queen. But
Absolutely.
we will not cause you any trouble.
Well, there's no trouble to be had here. We'll have a lovely meal laid out here eventually if you would like to join us.
Oh, I'm sure we can add a few things.
Does that allay any of Ricky's
Cheers.
I mean, let's be real for a second.
I've talked about
Um,
food now, so has it brought him down a little? Like, has
He
he?
likes food, but
Yep.
he's met creatures that put him super at ease super easily before, and they're never good experiences in the end.
Which, I'm just gonna say this, like, is Caleb up in the tree though? Because all I imagine is like I'm in the net and the net is like draping and I'm just like staring down at them. Would he not just be like,
Just the
I
little
feel like-
the little glowy eyes here and there in the dark, like cat eyes. Like,
reflecting the light back?
You hear like skittering through the trees.
I need you
Like-
to make me a wisdom check.
Me?
No, Caleb.
Is she charming us like actively?
No, this is not a charm. She's not charming you. This is
Even
this is checking to see you raced up a tree,
She's
so Rick, I'm
charming.
checking something right now.
Anyways, if you're Fae, you can't be charmed.
I
Resistant.
Wisdom.
17.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad for me.
You race up a tree that it's a little too narrow, but it's still enough to support your body weight. So when you hook your net up in your hammock, the tree like sinks down a bit,
I weigh
but
like 25
at the same time, it looks like you actually did it on purpose. So it's like hung you out over, so you're like in a safety zone over top of everything looking around.
Okay, but my goal is, can like any of my companions, including not companions, reach me easily?
No, you're up like 10 feet.
Gotcha.
You're off the ground.
10 feet.
That's pretty high.
I
Like,
don't
you want higher?
fire.
Okay. You get up. You're 17 feet off the ground on your new tree of choice.
Works for me. Well, if you're like 6 feet tall, like realistically, like outstretch, you could at least brush me while you jump.
Probably swing and hit you with a sword, yes, but
I don't want that.
Alan could have eaten.
sure.
you.
You're up now. You're up 17 feet.
I don't want that.
I think
That's
Alan would
opposite
just
of
chew
what
at the
I
bottom
want.
of the tree and drop the tree, but
Yeah.
No, I want to tether myself out of easily
Yeah,
reach.
you are
whether
17
that's, like,
feet
using
off the
an
ground.
apparatus, and I
your
want to be
original tree was like
staring
25
down.
feet, but it is hooked down and like it's bowed over, so you're like hanging like 17 feet off the ground in your net.
I'm gonna be up in that tree with my shit, giving some feral barn cat energy. Don't
Are
worry
you
about
are
me.
you gonna take care of your horse? You're just gonna leave it wandering around the camp without tying it up, or you skittled off that horse pretty quick and up the tree? So
I don't trust her.
sure, but
I
you
think
don't
if
trust
she
your
watched
horse.
from
Like
the tree long enough, she'd wind up seeing, if nobody else, Ricky taking care of the horse.
That's my expectation. Is Ricky's gonna be like
That's-
horse?
That's a
He'd be
drink.
like, "Hey, Bubs."
Ricky's
Horse.
trying to
Bubs. Hey,
assuage
I know.
the threat to
That's
him
great.
by making it his friend. By this is
Yeah.
what he's doing. Eh? Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys pull in. What do you do with the wagon? How do you wanna? This is a pretty good barricade. Like you could
Is
utilize.
there enough room to turn it around?
Oh yeah. It's
Like,
there's a good.
Because
Good
we're
spot.
like in a little enclave
Yep.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Prep it for the
As
hot
long
exit.
as it can leave quickly.
So you want to turn it around so it's faced out to the entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, the oxen are usually disconnected from it at night.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean,
All right.
it's still easier to connect oxen and try to turn a wagon
All
and get it whatever, right?
So what do you guys want to do?
Together.
Well, they are obviously preparing. You can see they've got a large sack of food that they're pulling things out of. You can see there's cheese and meats, breads. They've actually got some fruit as well that they're pulling out. And she's gone and cut down. There was a tree that she's cut down and woven through to make it basically a large table with a kind of a flexi bottom out of the branches and stuff like that, so you can lay everything out on top of it. They have a food. They've got a chunk of meat that's currently like on a spit, leaned over the fire, cooking. The older fella is kind of he's eyed across all of you, and he's humming it. It's a terribly off-key tune. You just can't seem to hit the notes properly, but you all recognize it as a very, very popular song that's played by most bards. But he's not good at toning that note in. But he's also smoking a pipe. It's a very not pungent tobacco, but a very uniquely scented brand that I don't think any of you have ever smelled before. What would you guys like to be doing in the camp as they're doing this? They have basically like they're not ignoring you, but they're not aware and they're not worried. Yeah, Chase, we know you're up the tree and
They're doing their own thing, right? I think.
well, they're setting up for a dinner with you guys, so they're preparing food. They're preparing enough food. It looks like for everybody to be able to eat.
I think Riven would. I mean, daily chores, right? Let's get Alan sorted. He can get his saddlebags off. I don't know if you rub down a dragon. Do you rub down a dragon?
I think he'd have you would have like a what are those sponges called that are kind of rough on the outside that you kind of like rough his scales up to
Like a loofah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
You wouldn't have
I
a
mean-
brush. You'd have a loofah or something to rub.
I
down
wouldn't
his
brush them. Right? That'd be
Exactly.
stupid.
No, but you're gonna leave them.
Polish them, maybe.
Yeah, well, you break the old scales off, right? That you get the
Yeah.
fresh ones growing out, and
Yeah. So
I have turtle wax. Don't ask me where it's from.
Yeah.
that's what it's for.
Well, you are the turtle toucher.
Uh,
Let me tell you.
Yeah, and feed him. Right. I would make sure Alan is good, comfortable. And then I'd probably, I don't know, have a light snack. And then walk the perimeter.
Of your own rations or of their rations?
do you
Like on my
like
own.
shave off a piece of the meat? No, you're doing that.
No, I mean, not quite yet.
All right.
I mean, I'm
can
not
you,
gonna. I'm not gonna like. I'm not saying I was got lone dark stranger. It's got to stand alone. But just do the things that need to be like. Go walk the perimeter, see what the size.
Give me
of the camp is.
give me 4 perception checks. I want one for each of the quadrants. So northeast, southwest.
First one is going to be a math. There it is. 19.
Okay.
23, natty 20.
Okay. And?
3.
2 more.
22 and a 22.
Oh, you have the lay of this land down. Like you have.
Right.
You don't just walk it once. You walk it twice, and you move out like 50, 100 feet each time. Kind of just building in your head that picture of the ground around you in case. Exactly. In case you need to do something, you have got a good. Kind of a battle map in your head for what would need to be done in case you need to do it. So you are well set up for this. Aiden, what are you doing?
He's a man of leisure.
No.
He's very comfortable with
He pulls out the candelabra.
with other high-ranking members, courtiers for the queen or what have you. He'll bust out the candelabra and just add
Put it
that
on
to
table.
It's important to set a scene, you see, and I'll set it all up and add a couple of candles, but generally not be very much help and just kind of figuring out what to do. Yeah.
It's real velour.
It's quality. It's real bits of panther.
Prepare my bed.
Tell the men I have made it with a woman.
All right. So we've got Riven and we've got Aiden. Caliph is up the tree. Vincent, you were prepping or tying up the horses and seeing to the animals. It seemed.
He'd do some choring. He would eat and drink what was placed in front of him and offered to him. He doesn't ask because he'd be
Nothing's
never
been
so
offered
brazen.
just yet. It's still all kind of being laid out. So
Okay.
you'd have to go back to your half-gnawed potato.
Yeah, he'd gnaw his potato. Well, I mean, he'd gnaw it as he chores.
Exactly. So I feel like that's something that you would do through the day. Like you wouldn't eat the entire thing in the
you'd
morning
nod.
because then you have nothing for night.
Yeah.
So it feels like
Nod.
a half-gnawed
Parts.
potato at this time. Yeah.
It's silly, but when I rolled that on the trinket thing, I loved the idea that he just survived all this time on that because he didn't have other good foods. Yeah,
He's doing the chipmunk fucking gnaw and stare.
and
Right? He's
and so whenever he's eating his plate's here. He's eating at the mess hall, with arms on both sides to avoid
protecting it.
the fork from stealing a sausage.
Yeah, absolutely. Aster, what are you doing? You're muted.
Aster's going to have a wander off into the forest.
Jack, you're still
remembers. Still muted?
No, he's fucking with you.
Just chaos. He is the. I was expecting
Not
Morley
even
to be the
here.
agent of
He's
chaos,
just-
and he's
he's
it's
just
Matt.
random
He usually
chaos.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna. She remembers that there were a little grove of trees where there were acorns. So she's going to just do a quick little jaunt to the side and search for some acorns for treats for Lord Chandral for later.
you've been here before. You know where there's a couple of good acorn trees from walnuts and things like that. So you easily find some. It's a little early in the season, so they're mostly new. They're not old and ripened up, but they're still a good treat for Oinker.
For Shondi.
That's right. I think that was everyone, right? Right.
Yeah.
So, as you guys finish your chores, as you guys are doing this, most of you notice that, well, they're not paying you a great deal of attention. Both of them stop and watch each of you in turn and seem to kind of eye you up and down. Just noting like ding, 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 ding. You can see kind of check marks going off in their brain for they're making sure that you guys aren't doing anything tricky. You're not trying to be fucking sneaky. You're not trying to snake off on anything. They're being a little creeped out by fucking Aiden, who's basically pulled out a bearskin rug and dropped down to a loincloth and is laying on it in front of the fire.
I'm also clocking that they're checking everybody out, and I'm making sure that like the light is on the right side, and I'm like posed and stuff, and I'm just like, well, of how I look.
Lovely party. Pity I wasn't invited.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Do you have a Grey Poupon?
Yeah. And they have prepared. It's a significant amount of food that comes out of that bag, and it is all of like a really good quality. They have cut up a significant amount for the number of people that are out here. And as you guys are finishing up your kind of camp chores and posing in the lamplight there, as the sun's setting, Aiden gets the best sunset light he can get off his taut buttocks. In order to flexes. That's right. Flexes for the. My beach ball is just round. The sun is in the sky.
Yep. For absolutely no reason, I will practice some sword moves with my rapier.
You don't want to break out some yoga, like just really.
Yeah. Just no reason whatsoever. I'll just stand up and be like, "Whoa, how about you?" And I'll fight a tree.
You practice some what is that? Not Tai Chi, but weapons Tai Chi kind of thing. You're just kind of like slowly rolling through an attack routine in slow motion.
No,
practicing.
I'm just making swish noises.
Oh, wow.
Like pretending he has a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining like the Jedi kid
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
from early YouTube.
And I'm making my own swish noises too.
Some of you guys can tell that they're starting to wonder if Aiden is maybe a little bit special. Like,
We've
is
all
this
wondered
somebody's
that.
little brother that they've kind of like dragged along for the adventure, and they're looking for a cork on the end of his sword just to see so he doesn't hurt himself, kind of thing. And
Angie told me I had to go.
Ricky's gonna whisper to Aster, "Is he okay? Is he all right? He seems weird."
is this normal? Was that Chase?
When you think he's weird, that's
He seems
Right?
weird. Nothing else that's happened is weird. I looked into the eyes of an oxen and I saw limitless possibilities of the universe, but that guy seems weird.
Right?
Is Caliph just staying up in the, like, you can smell this food cooking and it smells damn good to you, especially like the fresh fruits and things like that. Like, and they're pulling fruit out that is from
Nice,
way
out of
further
season.
south. Yeah, well, it's in season somewhere else, but it ain't in season here.
No. Feral barn cat energy. Mm-mm.
Are you kidding me? Every feral barn cat, if I bring food out, they're in and out.
Yeah.
Snap something in the back of the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as there's
Traffic
movement, it's
officer
not
nod.
happening.
Oh, she, the lady Sternara, she sits down and kind of like spreads out, and like there's the long table that she's knitted out of this thing that's about 6 feet long, on 2 or 3 feet down the side, and this thing is like laden with fruits, vegetables, bread, cheeses of a variety. Along with there is a small decanter of what appears to be an elven wine, and there's a small keg of dwarven ale as well that has been tapped. And she'll look up and she'll say, "Unfortunately, I don't have any cups, so you'll have to provide your own. But If you would like to come and join us, there's food enough for everyone. Feel free to join us and have whatever you would like.
And they don't have any other servants, manservants,
Nope.
courtiers.
No
just
manservants, no
those
courtiers, just
two.
those two.
And
Yeah.
they just laid out a feast.
Mhm.
I'm gonna chew my potato into a roughly
Okay.
cupish shape.
Hilarious. I love
little,
that.
little shots of potato
This
vodka.
guy-
in
I
the
don't
fucking
have a
potato.
cup.
Yeah.
Now here's the question: Does he like chew out and then like eat the insides, or does he like and he's spitting
Oh,
it
he's
out?
eating
trying to
the
get-
insides.
He's eating it. Okay,
You wouldn't let it go to waste.
of course.
Throw
But
that
like,
shit away.
okay, so a 14 insight. I don't know. Like Riven's gonna be like, this seems, and he's gonna mention it. He's like, this seems like an inordinate amount of food for two people.
So your insight check, a 14 for a royal servant to be carrying around potentially magical items. This is not.
No,
unheard of.
no. It's not the magic items. It's
No,
the
I get
amount
that.
of food. Yeah.
Yeah, but
are they
this
not
is coming out of.
courtesans?
It's coming out of a magical bag, right?
They're
Like my bag. Potato bag.
they're of the court of Cormyr, which is a very, very affluent kingdom in the south.
No, I'm aware, but how would they know to like table? I don't know.
Jason's
Table?
like,
Oh, that's
no,
easy.
I
Got
got
it.
it.
This isn't the first time they've eaten with people.
Yeah.
Call it a hunch.
Hmm.
So they have put on a good spread. Because again, as a servant of Cormyr, if you are serving others, you want your liege to be shown well, right? You want to fucking show your opulence, your right. So they definitely have a good spread. And again, your insight of 14, you are getting no threat from these people.
No.
Because-
I mean, it's not a threat thing. It's just a wonderment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd flex.
Like I was a servant of a queen, and I did not eat like this.
Yeah, but your queen really doesn't give a shit about people. So
Yeah.
let's be
That's
honest
true.
here.
I
This isn't a
don't.
queen either.
I
Or is this a goddess?
still am a servant of a queen, but
Yes.
like,
There's
yeah,
there's a
that's just-
difference.
yeah.
There's
So-
queen problems and there's god problems, and hers are on the other side.
So, Raph,
Yes.
Aiden has spent a fair amount of time in fairly high society
hmm
services,
Yeah.
dealing with other courts, taking care of like the behind the scenes ceremonies and stuff.
Okay.
Would I know these people or know of who they work with?
Well, you may know of the queen of Cormyr. You'd be aware of that name for certain. But like
Yeah.
individual, not necessarily servants, but servitors of that queen, that there's going to be hundreds, if not like for a larger kingdom, thousands of these people that work for these groups. These people
Okay.
certainly seem to be higher up in that chain. They certainly have, like I said, their clothing is not like top tier royalty, but it is extremely well made. Everything they have is of higher quality. Like there's nothing in here that like I said, they're not like dripping in jewels and things like that running around, but everything is well made, high end materials, stuff like that. And the
Okay.
food, like you're seeing, is it's higher end fare. It's not you're not getting the dregs from the bakery at fucking 5 p.m. kind of thing. This is all stuff that's looks delicious and glorious. So
Okay, can I try a small flex? And I want to see if I can like correctly identify like the vintage and the wine varietal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that. So give
Nice.
me let's go history. I feel history is accurate for wine tasting.
Yeah.
It's a 13 and a 1. 14.
I would almost say medicine.
Oh,
Medicine?
well, medicine is fucking much better. I got a +7 to that, so that would
All
be
right.
a dirty 20.
Okay, well, we'll give you a medicine. I agree with Dave there.
Okay.
I gather
So
it
you
tastes
roll-
like cough syrup to you, Dave.
Yeah.
Notes of
Cough
Benadryl
syrup.
and Buckley's. It was 72, maybe a 73.
Sure.
Mm.
Raven is like, this tastes like I'm not going to work tomorrow.
Ooh, naughty juice.
Red.
We have the red or the white. Yeah. So give me a guess at the vintage and the year.
I'm going to I will reach into the same bag that I pulled out a fucking candelabra from, and I will pull out just a fucking disgustingly jeweled golden cup.
Chalice.
Yeah, just something that Angie had on the table.
Sadly, she did.
Yeah, and I will help myself to a bit of it. I will swirl it with a practiced flourish.
Yes. Give me the yes.
I will get my nose into the cup. I will aerate. I will let it wash over the tongue, down the sides. I will let it flow down the edges of my throat. And then I will say, late season, possibly autumn, North Bank. And then I will mention that a region, the area that they're from.
All right. We'll say Netherese and 1475.
Sure. Yes, those ones. Just casually and not even facing them when I do it, just out of the corner of my eye, this is very nice. Good quality.
Stornara will she's kind of been watching out of the corner of her eye as you're doing this, as she's been cutting herself small slices of fruit and some cheese and bread, stuff like that. And she's got a bit of a smirk on her face as you're doing this. She knows exactly what you're doing, and she is just
Amused.
Yeah, she can't even help herself but laugh at the ridiculousness of this. But when you actually get you are close, and she'll actually get raise eyebrows when you and she'll say, "Close, you're off by a year." She'll say,
well,
and she'll pour
road
herself
dust.
a glass, and she'll cheers you.
That's fair.
Tap it on the rock, and then have a swig off of it.
Yeah.
And then she'll look again, and Elgorn, the rest of you are going to join us. And the old fella who has been he's been sitting over it, and he's laying, and he's doing the old soldier thing where he's got his head up on a rock and he's got his hat pulled down over, and all that's coming out is his pipe. That's all that's sticking out is his pipe from underneath the hat.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Sounds like a G.
Yeah, it's
usually a hand
He's the
roll.
tire of the G wagon.
Yeah, and so he's just gonna and he's like, "Oh, food's ready, okay." And he puts his hat down on the side, and he takes his pipe out, and he taps it on the rock, and he dumps it out, kind of thing. And he puts it on his hat, and there's a little hold. You can see there's a little hook that he's done this many times, and his hat's got this weird little hook that he just rests it on the thing and leaves it on his hat over by his stuff. So
that's
and
fine.
he comes over and he sits down beside her, and immediately just starts heaping stuff onto it. He's got a wooden plate that has just appeared out of nowhere that you didn't see him pull out, and he is just heaping that stuff on. And he's not bothering with a fork or anything like that. He is eating everything by hand, and they're just having a quick little conversation, kind of laughing and talking amongst themselves as they're waiting for the rest of you to do whatever you're going to do.
Aster is going to be polite and come over and grab a few things and make very light conversation, but then head over to Lord Chandral because she's thinking of what Gundren told her about the argument, and she wants to keep a kind of low profile on the way there and just get there everyone safely. So not wanting to make any kind of impression.
Stornara sees what you're kind of doing, where you're gathering some stuff for the boar, and she says, "I recommend taking those large orange melons. I think he'll love them."
Thank you. Thank you. And I grab some and take them over to Shandi.
And Shandi immediately snuffles through everything and hammers into those melons. There is just chaos and disaster. Yeah, exactly. He is
Motorboats
spraying.
them.
Yeah.
Your hair after this. Okay.
Does the whole hippo where he it tilts its head back and just
Yeah.
Yeah, it smashes. Just loves
All
it.
right.
What about Caleth? Is she she's seeing this now. Is she going to scoot down, grab, and run back up the tree, or is she just avoiding everything like the plague? Avoiding. So all you can see is this little like dry grass hanging nest. You see like dark brown hair and this set of eyes that are just like flashing as the sun sets and the fire light starts to grow, and you just see them like flashing in the. That actually worked really well there for a second.
That's it.
I don't know what happened, but that light one worked. Anyways, yeah. So just little set of brown eyes, or they're blue right now, right? Aren't they? You're muted again, Chase.
You are mute.
Oh, I'm
Or I
not.
can't hear you. Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Like a pale blue. Yeah.
Pale blue, yeah. So yeah, pale blue eyes just glaring out from under brown hair up in this.
I feel like it's just eyes reflecting in like the tree canopy.
Like a Cheshire cat hiding.
And she wonders why I'm nervous.
Yeah, right.
Right.
What about Vince? Is he has Ricky moved over?
He'd come for food, but he'd like be nervous to plate himself food. Like he wouldn't know the right amount to take. He'd probably need either encouragement to plate it himself, or someone would probably be like, "No, just fucking here."
Stornara sees you coming and is like, as you like hold out, is it just your hand, or do you have something like, do you have a rock that you picked up to use as a plate, or
I have a potato for a cup.
you have a potato for a cup?
I have a hand for a plate.
Okay, so she will like slowly lay out a selection of cheeses and meats and bread and a couple of pieces of fruit, and then she
Right on
fills
top
your
of his
cup.
hand.
Yeah, just on top of it. That's what he's offered, so that's what
Potato.
she's so. And she
Actually, my
throws your
shield.
potato cup.
Sorry, I have a shield.
Oh, okay.
I would use my shield.
Oh my.
It's-
Okay. So,
By shield, it's like a strip of susser bark with rope turning into a shield, but like
Oh.
it's a
okay,
shield.
well, she
That's your bu-
because you've provided that now, she provides you with much more food. It's a large variety, and then she's like, I don't think the wine is going to be good with the potato, but this ale will be delicious with it, she says, and she pours you some of the dwarven ale instead.
Thank you.
And if you would like more, feel free to come back after you finish that.
Merci. Because Cormac's France. Merci. Did I hear you guys? Wasn't it King Azun? Is it a queen now?
Yes.
I haven't been around a while. Is the queen now?
Their faces both darken a little, and yes, there was some battles recently, and the king has died, and Rhaedra has taken over as the queen now. Rhaedra Oberskine.
Long live Rhaedra, Queen of Cormac.
She kind of smiles at you. not that.
He's
kind of-
very sincere. If it
Yeah.
helps. He's just.
She's giving you a very sincere smile back and thanks you for your. And it's like it was a troubling time, but things are moving forward. It's better now there. But it's the nature of royalty is to lead and potentially to die for your country, and the king had to do that, unfortunately. That's all. And then you retreat back to like a safe distance kind of thing.
He'd probably retreat back to a safe distance. He'd probably also keep an eye out for like a stick that looks long enough that he could stick a fruit on the end of it to like hold it up and like nudge it into the nest. If the Fae's hungry, it won't want to eat him. Or sorry, if it's full, it won't want to eat him. But that's after he feeds himself.
And she says to you again, if you'd like more, feel free. We have plenty here. There's more if we need to pull more out. There's certainly lots of food for everyone.
He'd probably eat enough that it would be considered rude and fine company.
They don't seem to be bothered by it in the slightest. In fact, they're
like spiking a fruit and like holding it up into the air.
Yeah, and then when he finished eating, he would definitely like find a stick and try to put a fruit into some fruits into the nest.
Does
to try
Caliph
and
take
feed
it?
the Fae so it didn't get hungry enough to eat him when he slept.
Does Caliph take it?
Takes it, but she doesn't eat it.
Just sits there sniffing it. All you see is the fruit and eyes.
All he can do.
What about Riven and is Aiden still just like splayed out?
Yeah, I'm making, polite conversation.
Just drinking the wine and
having a couple of little snack bits, but
avoiding the faux pas of politics and things like that, and
yes,
simply some small talk.
Aiden is quite well versed in talking about nothing.
That's why I'm saying that's.
Yeah.
And she can tell, and she is absolutely just playing along, and yeah.
She's trying to catch me into like conversations and watching me backpedal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
What about Aster's got some food now, or is she?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
tucked over by the boar.
Yeah, Aster's kind of made kind of a snuggly bit by the boar after we're doing the hair brushing and the lavender oil now, and we're just I'm snuggling in for the night, but kind of keeping an eye on everyone. I got one drink, and I'm just kind of drinking and relaxing and watching the group, trying to watch over everyone from a distance.
From a distance.
I wear my sunglasses.
Well, Sternara and Elgorn, they kind of finish their eating. They eat a fair-sized plate, and then they do a little bit of washing for their stuff, and they leave the rest of it out. There's definitely still lots left. Sternara is going to collect a large chunk of meat and look to Riven and say, "Do you mind if I feed Alan?"
Well, no, but not too much. He's.
Is this an appropriate amount? Will he be satisfied with this? And she's got it's a full beef bone kind of thing with a good fucking ring around it kind of thing.
Well, I guess he has worked hard today. He has done well. The whole rain thing, but we're working on that. Yes, if you feel that would make you happy, you may feed Alan.
Oh, she says, "I do love the dragonelles. Such wonderful creatures." And she immediately stands up and walks towards it. Absolutely zero fear. And again, Alan is just kind of demure, like he's just.
Mm-hmm.
And she feeds him, and she's scratching him under the chin and up the side of his frills and stuff like that. And he is just loving it. And he even does that little foot kick, when you get him in a good spot.
Of course he would.
You feel a little bit like he's doing it a little bit on purpose to tease you.
Oh, yeah, he's totally.
He's absolutely just playing it up a little bit. He is enjoying the attention from her, but he's definitely kind of putting on a little bit of a show.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, she kind of gives him the last little pat on the side of the neck, and then comes back over to the fire and sits down by Elgorn again, and just reclines back and is enjoying sitting. I think we lost Chase. Oh, no, she's back.
Yes, she's back.
This is how Chase tells you that it's gone on too long.
Yeah. Well, that's how.
Oh, look at the time! Everybody go to bed.
They kind of regale you guys with just not stories, but they're just conversation for a couple of hours as the sun has set and the moon comes up. And before they finalize, they're like, "Hey, yeah, the moon's up. Thanks, Matt."
Graveyard.
But your fan's going there, Matt. I think I can hear it.
No.
Are you sure? Because we're getting some.
That noise.
Yeah. There we go. Thanks, buddy.
AirPod noise.
AirPod noise, I guess. His heavy breathing. And they're just like, what would you like to do? We normally just kind of split off for watching for any kind of trouble, but this area is fairly well protected, and there's not a lot of things around here that would bother us. But are you feeling the need to put out a guard and have some protection overnight?
Caliph will not be sleeping.
Aster will offer to take first watch.
Okay. Aiden will take second and third, I guess. Half elves don't require.
So let's see. We had Aster first watch, right? Oh, cut that out.
Or am I thinking just full elves only require?
No, half elves have the
Half
same
elves.
thing, I believe.
Oh,
Do they?
I think so.
No.
I'm trying to remember.
That's
Well,
crazy.
he's got the
talk.
character sheet. It should tell you right at the top there, Morley.
How dare you?
How dare I, indeed. Okay, so gotta get that
Okay,
out
it
of the way.
says Morley Wheel.
Is it under racial traits? At the page?
It would be under racial traits, but no, they got to have. They
You
have
would play the race card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
they
see
got to
anything.
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
they gotta
So
sleep.
you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, but magic can't put you to sleep.
So I'll just take second then.
Yeah, you'll still get a full rest. You just have to take a shift, is all. So
Yeah.
So how many hours would that be?
well, you're gonna rest for about 8 hours. So
No, but I mean that first shift, second shift. So is that 2-hour shift, 1-hour shifts?
well,
They're
that's-
2-hour shifts. So we've done 4 hours by the second
So
shift.
I would say Ribbon will take the middle of the whatever, right? The third, I guess.
so Riven's third,
Yeah.
and somebody's
Ricky's getting woken up.
he's taking fourth.
Ricky will take like a shift if he like. Ricky doesn't quite know what watch means, so he's waiting to be told. What to do. He's waiting for someone to tell him what to do. He for sleep. He climbs into a tree, belts himself to the branch, so he can't fall out of it, and he just lets people tell him
Yeah,
what to do.
dragon.
He didn't think of that. He doesn't want to be on the ground or on ground associated items.
That's fair.
All right. So we have the watch shift for what's going on tonight.
And
Elgorn has already gone back
Yeah,
over
that's
to where
over
his
the
hat
touch.
is, and has pulled that hat over his eyes, and the pipe is going, but you could swear you hear snoring underneath the hat.
Mhm.
I can spell to sleep.
And then Stornara has gone over and has taken she's in a sitting cross-legged, meditating pose, and her eyes are closed and her breathing slows, but you can see every once in a while, if you watch closely, one of her eyes kind of just pops open, scans, and she goes back to being closed. And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight,
Sounds fair.
because I think we're going to lose Chase if we
Yeah.
Oh.
Good game, guys.
We've already lost Chase. I think she's.
That's
That's
why she
actually
went to
something she
hammock.
recorded earlier. She's just it's on loop.
Chase, you're on mute.
She's not.
She's
And
just
Tired
on
and
mic.
far away from the mic.
Thank you for staying up for us,
Yeah.
Chase. You are now
Yes,
free.
thanks
to
so much, Chase.
I hope
Show
you
us
You
guys-
the
have to
kitty
stay.
cat
You
before
can
you
just go to
goes
sleep
out.
right now.
Look at the kitty.
I will text you guys in the chat to see when we can set up the next one. But yeah,
Oh,
thanks very much for coming.
Probably
Thanks,
not
everyone.
next
it's a good
week.
chicken.
What's that, Matt?
Yeah.
Probably not next week.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Don't worry
it'll
about that.
fun.
It'll be several weeks down the
We're-
line.
We're in
All
the
right.
States, bro.
We've got
We
two.
might have to
episodes
make
first.
notes of character behavior, like talking like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, my character totally shifted because reacting to your guys' character is way different than how I perceived her initially.
Oh yeah.
That's perfect.
She went
That's
from
how
being
we work.
aloof to being camp mom.
Right?
She was like, I'm a big tough barbarian. Oh, this little kitten's gonna die if I don't fucking help him.
Pretty much.
I'm-
That's perfect. Yeah.
I'm fucking loving Ricky though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Chase, you
Jeez.
All right, guys. I'm
guys are
I'm
cutting
gonna
off Chase. I can't
disappear.
hear.
You'll have a good night. Thanks for showing up. Pow. Great
Pow,
job,
pow.
Raph.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Ah,
Man,
good job.
take it.
It's not good yet until we get into a fight.
Well, I mean, I'm
That's
just
coming.
saying that now that I know what you can,
Oh.
in the next week or so, who knows if there's going to be a dungeon crawl. Uh,
That's not how this works. That's not how any of
That's how we wrap up our game.
You,
yeah.
you guys are close to wrapping up your game if I watch
No,
that last one
I
correctly.
seem to recall I died the most in the first season, so I became the dungeon master. Do you see how this works?
Shit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Wait a minute, Morley died out way more than anybody. This is
Actually,
bullshit.
I'm permanent. Though.
He had
Resurrecting.
plot armor.
Morley had one character from start to finish.
It was still deaths, even if they were only short-term deaths.
I think at one point I was keeping like hash marks, keeping track of how many times Mortor had like gone under, and then I just stopped.
On your
where I had, like,
hammer?
yeah. Then I just stopped where I.
It's
I
not
had,
things
like,
he's killed,
7
it's
in
the
a single
times he's
game.
died, yeah.
Bye, Chase.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
Good night,
Bye,
Chase.
Chase.
Thanks,
You all
Thanks,
you all
guys.
have a good night, and
Thanks, to the cat. Thanks for coming.
yeah,
Yes.
thanks a lot, and we'll do this again for sure.
Yay.
For sure.
Hey,
The
thanks, guys.
most fun was watching Chase's energy just
Yeah.
nosedive.